Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 21 of the Town Hall meeting. This is a special episode to talk about W3Champions and also about tournament results, recent tournament results. We've got some fantastic guests yet again. Let's start with the man himself, Back to Warcraft commentator, Warcraft extraordinaire. I don't even know what else to say. Neo from Back to Warcraft. What's going on, man?
Thank you very much. Feels like I'm becoming like a co-host of the show. I will not complain about that. I love it here.
You're always welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. We got from W3Champions 3 of the staff member. I guess you guys will be explaining exactly what it is you do in a few moments. Let's start with you, Floss. I guess introduce yourself a little bit.
My name's Floss. I'm from the US. Couldn't be happier to be here. Nice to see all y'all's faces for the first time. What a pleasure.
And we got Mod Moto.
Yeah, morning everyone. I'm Moto from Germany. Also W3Champions developer. Pretty happy to be here. I'm looking forward for the next hour or a half, something like that.
And we got Abe Ninsky.
Yeah, guys. Hey, sorry I don't have a webcam. I'm from Bulgaria and I do some cool features on W3Champions in my free time.
So you gave me, Floss, a document here that says that Abe and Modmoto are decoders and you're the community liaison and administrator. So perhaps you guys could elaborate a little bit what it is exactly that you guys do for W3Champions, like to anybody that's watching this now and that doesn't know what W3Champions is, if you've not necessarily followed the scene for a while. W3Champions is a ladder that was created on Warcraft 3 because we didn't have a proper ladder with proper matchmaking. It's pretty damn awesome. It usually has its own topic on every town hall. And there is a page where we can see the game listing for everybody, who they've played recently, what heroes they were made, how much gold they mine and stuff. So you can kind of tell what happened in the games. And it's just really awesome in general. So Floss, go first. What it is exactly that you do?
Sure. So I think the most important thing I can do is introduce the real talent. First, I want to shout out two folks that aren't here. First is a name you all know, Pad. He created W3 Arena, W3 Booster. He started W3 Champions. And about a month and a half ago, maybe a little bit longer, he stepped back, put it in our hands to safeguard it. Mod, Abe, and Gab are really the value adds. Gab can't be here today, but he's doing Zoom out. He's doing a ton of stuff. Mod and Abe, I'm going to let them talk about what they're doing, but Mod is like the voice of the community. Whenever we're talking about what needs to happen next in W3 Champions, Mod's always like, but the community said this. They voted on this. He's their voice and their spirit. I love it. Abe put together the website, all the statistics, and we're all in the Discord kind of listening to what the people want. I would say I'm a put people in touch type of guy, community manager. I foolishly volunteered to moderate the RT community, which I'm happy to cry about later. Yeah, big time full. But the most important thing is just talk about the talent, which is Mod and Abe. And at some point, when I get a chance, I also have a little bit of a personal agenda. The reason I asked you to do this show, I'm going to put it out up front, which is just, I wanted to make a plea to Blizzard, whoever speaks for Blizzard.
Get in line.
Not even that, just come talk to us. We want the best for Warcraft 3, just like y'all do, I'm sure. We think we have the best thing for Warcraft 3, and we'd like to work with you. So just, get at me. We're doing it for free, so we're reasonable. So just come talk to us. That's all.
Yeah, this is like the list of matches that are going on right this minute on W3Champions. I cannot even show all of them. There's 2 pages. So across... this is actually only solo as well. This is only 1v1.
Yeah.
Mad Frog right now playing. Night Ends. Let's take a look at 2v2.
Infi is playing.
Oh, Infi is playing? Oh, it's the end of the show. I gotta go watch, guys.
Have you caught him a few times?
Sorry?
Have you caught him a few times yet?
Yeah, sadly.
Sad.
So, yeah. let's talk a little bit more about W3Champions, like the other things that are happening. There is an end of season tournament right now. Before season was, I believe, 8 weeks. Now it's been reduced to 6 weeks. I kind of like that. I think 4 weeks would have been too short. So you guys really found the sweet spot there. And it's, yeah, there's going to be a prize money, and the top 8 players are going to be playing against one another. So how did this exactly come together? And anything you can share about this?
I think it was originally Floss' idea. I don't know. But
Actually, I mean, I always wanted it, but Gab's the person who put it together. So let me
yeah,
get full.
that's right. Yeah. And it was pretty cool that the Back to Warcraft guys, we stayed in touch, and we're not sure, but pretty sure that they will host it in the end of season tournament. It will be pretty awesome. I'm really stoked so far, and I think we have $1,000 right now, a little bit more prize money on the line, and I think it's going to be an awesome tournament. I think celebrating Warcraft 3 community done stuff is just like going to be an awesome event, in my opinion. I'm looking really forward to the cast and to the games, and hoping that Grubby gonna be in the first 8 GM in Europe. I guess that's gonna be possible. Let's see how Infi does. But it's gonna be, I think, a really, really great event to celebrate the ladder, and we're hoping to do this every season, and let's see how it goes from here.
Yeah. I hear that Infi, we know he's been playing at W3Champions. He's actually pretty high rank right now. Let me see. He's ranked 7, so yeah, if he would end now, he would be inside of the top 8. Do we know if he's gonna play if he finishes in the top 8?
Well, somebody on our Discord server, somebody said that Infi said that he would like to participate, but that's not 100% confirmed information.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe.
I can reach out tomorrow or something. Yeah, I think we wanted to do this for season 1 already, but then it kind of clashed with, I think, DreamHack or WGL or something. The end of season 1 was kind of in a busy time for competitive Warcraft, so we couldn't do it for season 1, but we really wanted it to do, and I think the Heroes Hearth guys were also reaching out or something. I'm not too sure. But I'm really, really happy that we can do it for season 2, because that's the best thing to motivate people to play more. And that's also a very good chance for newcomers or tier 2 players to really start a grind and be a workhorse and make it to a big tournament. In other tournaments, they might not be invited, or the open qualifiers are really, really hard, or you have a little bit of bad luck with the grid. But here, if you make a top 8, then you're definitely worth it, because you put in a crazy amount of work and grind, and that's what makes this ladder race so special.
And it means that it's also an insane practice. Like Blade has been putting in ridiculous hours. Like we got so many good players. Like Happy is playing every day. I want to ask one question though about this. Like there is some players that have multiple accounts, Smurfs, if you will. I don't know if we should call them that. I mean, there's not really anybody that's very incognito, I think, in Warcraft 3, because it's very easy to know who's who.
Who's this Fetsy guy?
French player coming back.
Okay.
Is there any plans maybe to make some rules against that? Or
Well, so let me go through kind of the rules as they are right now, and they are ongoing. I was actually hoping to discuss some of them today, but just the basics. It's top 8 in Grandmasters. We're hoping in later seasons to expand it to other leagues. But right now it's top 8. You're allowed 1 spot per rank. So if Todd makes it as human and then he also makes it as undead, that's only 1 spot. And if someone doesn't accept or can't make it, if number 6 can't make it, we extend the invitation number 9. So you'll only earn yourself 1 spot. It's not going to be Happy playing himself 4 times.
Yeah. But I've heard multiple complaints that if somebody like Happy wants to have 3 accounts, and it's apparently one of the challenges on his stream, somebody sends him money and tells him, I want you to get top 1, 2, and 3 with your 3 accounts. Do you think that maybe some rules could be made about that? Or do you think it's fair is fair? He can just do that if he wants, for example?
So what's the issue if he only gets 1 spot?
Like it bothers some players that somebody makes a new Smurf that they don't have very high MMR, but they're very good, and then they're just beating up people along the way and kind of crushing their records, or like taking a lot of MMR from them, for example.
I think we had this in Discord, like the discussion there, right? I don't think it's that much of an MMR problem. I think if you start with 1,500 and are like a happy Smurf, then you will grind up to GM fairly quickly, and along the way, of course, you will stomp some noobs.
But some good players too.
Yeah. But I think if you play 5 games more than that 5 MMR that you lose against happy Smurf or 20, let's say, it won't make that much of a difference. And I think it would be cool that if we could do something against it, maybe rank them higher. If we know it's a happy Smurf, then we let them start at 2,100, something like that. I don't know, but for us it's completely impossible to know all the accounts because we would have to connect their email address to the Battle.net account, and that's what we will not be able to do. And I think the only possibility would be that people report them, and then this also generates this witch hunt for Smurfs. I don't like that negative moment that it creates, and I think there are not that many people that really do it, and it doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't matter that much.
I'm the same way. And the flip, for every person who gets upset that they lose 10 MMR for losing against Happy, I mean, I'm never going to match Happy unless I meet him on the first day of the season. Like, that's exciting for me.
Mm.
Yeah, I met him once in old Battle.net, and
Yeah, how'd that go?
Not that good. I think I died before the first fiend hit. I think he only killed me with skeletons and his Death Knight. I was like, okay, here we go.
So do you know that feel?
No.
It was awesome rape.
Can I add one more thing?
Sure.
You said that they tell him to get spot 1, 2, 3, but if you open the rankings right now, you'll see that Happy's top rank is 4, and his other account is 8, and I don't see the third account, it's 15, because the good players, the Grandmaster players, are playing actively. It's very hard for him to get to the top 3 spots because everybody is competing and they play a lot of games because of the tournament and the new season. So Happy is having a hard time to get to the top 3 spots.
But I don't think it's undoable. And like the fact that I think people have a point for sure that having multiple accounts, it's not as fun, in my opinion. Like there is a very clear rule that if you guys wanted to make it, could kind of make that a little bit better, in my opinion, especially now that there is separate MMR per account. Like if he wants a Night Elf account, he could just have done it on his main, but instead he made other accounts. What if you say that if somebody wants to enter the race to play in the playoffs at the end of the season, they're only allowed to have one account that can ladder, for example? Maybe not even necessarily for the 6 weeks, but at least for the last 4 weeks. It's also a big debate in StarCraft 2, because in StarCraft 2 there is no unique username. So for a very long time, every account on the ladder was a barcode. And you will literally look at this ladder ranking and it's only barcodes. And you don't even, I mean, you can kind of know who's who, but at the same time, it kind of takes a little bit of the fun away because people are playing on the Smurfs. In Warcraft 3, it's not that bad, but I can understand the point that some players could get demotivated when they meet Happy's secondary account, which has like less MMR and is ranked lower than his other accounts. And then, you know, like they lose to his elf or something because he's still pretty damn good with elf. So just wanted, people have asked me to bring this up to you guys. I did, and then I heard your side, and I understand it as well. Like personally, it doesn't bother me a ton, but I do think it'd be more interesting, especially because we only have 30 spots in Grandmaster. Like what happens when this fills up and 3 of these accounts are Happy's, you know? Like then you look at Master and it's like the top 3 then could have been in, top 2 could have been in Grandmaster if Happy didn't have his 2 accounts there already filling that up. Of course, they could get ahead of him.
We don't have an ego about all this. We're open to change. We're open to calls. This is why we're doing this. What happened in season 2 may be different from season 3. I know when we were planning this, when we were planning race-based seminar, we thought Maybe we won't let maybe only your best MMR account will show up on the ladder. We decided against it for season 2. Maybe that changes in the future, but probably we won't make changes mid-season would be my guess.
Yeah. But for the future, you guys
Yeah.
are willing to consider like any good suggestions or any suggestions, right?
Any good suggestions? We get some good suggestions in Discord, but we'll read them all.
Yeah.
Mhm. I think we had some discussion about it. We were talking that we maybe want to limit, if you like on the same account, that you only can participate with your race MMR only one time in GM. But then we said, okay, let's just look it up, see how it works this season, and if people really manage to get to Grandmaster with 2 races, then that was our conclusion at that time. Then we leave it like that, because it's also a success if you can rank up to GM with a Night Elf and Undead, for example. And but yeah, this would be possible that we maybe say, okay, GM can only be entered with your best race, but then you still would have the problems with Smurf accounts, Battle.net accounts that you can't really track. And the big problem with that is for us, it would mean a lot of effort to track down Smurf accounts or to implement something that would recognize it IP-based or something like that. It would mean a lot of work for, in our opinion, very minimal value. And I would rather implement some cool in-game features like profiles or race-based MMR for 2v2 than hunt down Smurfs. This is like our opinion right now. But of course, this might be able to change. But I think also, in my opinion, the community would rather have 2v2 RT race-based MMR than any us hunting down Smurfs, for example.
I think that's right. I think the focus is clearly on the wrong side, on the right side. Sorry about that. And I think this could be one of your biggest strengths, that throughout the season you gather feedback, and after the season is done, you raise these topics again to say, hey community, this is what we did this season. We heard you. What do you think about this and this and this? What should we do? Like, this is the way a community should work, that the leaders give topics up for discussion, and if the community raises their voice in unison, then we change that, and you make sure that you show that you listen to the people. We have other companies who don't do that, and we had other ladders before who didn't do that, and I think your ears are very big and very wide open. So this is, for me at the moment, one of the coolest things about W3Champions, that you are so communicative and open to change.
Yeah, I actually wanted to send a message to our community. I see that a lot of people come to Discord and they are angry for some reason, and they don't realize that we want them to have fun and to change the things, to make things better. That was my drive for participating in this project, and I would really like the community to know that we are really open to change and improve things. For example, I know that many people think that we have issues with ranking, and uh, we took Toxi. Do you know Toxi?
Yeah.
Toxi is a PhD mathematician, which will help us with calculating some formulas and improve the MMR and RP. So we make people happier, and yeah, we want to make things better. It's not like we don't care. We're not like that. We're really open to
And
improve
correct
things.
me if I'm wrong, but this is the first time you run something like this, right? And it's not for a long time, so it is a learning effort that we all go through at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely. We have real jobs too.
yeah, we do it in our free time.
Soul Glider in the chat brought up. He said, "Please talk about RP versus MMR. Number one most important issue for NA right now." And then, so I'm not sure exactly what he's talking about, but he mentioned after too many people play just 12-0, then stop playing.
So let me explain the universe right quick. So MMR is matchmaking rating. It's based on Glyco2. You can see it in chess. We never touch MMR. That's how you find the best match. If you're 1500, we're going to try and find you as close to 1500. The acceptable range widens as the search continues. RP is ranking points that encourages grinding. If you just have an MMR based system, there's no incentive to continue playing. You get a 10-0 count, you're in Grandmaster, you stay at 2200, you never touch it again. And you also don't want to put decay on MMR. You don't want to touch people's MMR because that makes the matchmaking worse. So the solution is RP, which gives you, as you play more, your RP bonus kind of increases. It plateaus when you get 100 wins. So basically, we want people to get 100 wins, and then your MMR will reflect your RP. Currently, your division is chosen by your MMR. So if you're the top 30, you're going to be Grandmaster. If you're top 60, you're going to be Master. If you're top 20%, you're going to be Diamond, then Platinum, Gold, Silver, Bronze. So it doesn't matter how many games you played. If your MMR is good enough to be in the top 20%, you're going to be in Diamond. Within your division, your ranking points determine where you lie. So you get your MMR within Diamond, then you don't play, you're going to be at the very bottom of Diamond, but you're never going to rank out a Diamond until someone surpasses you with MMR to become 21st percentile. Soul Glider is saying that we should have no MMR gates for division, just RP. This is where like this conversation has happened. I personally agree with him. I think it should be just RP based, but you know, again, I'm the community guy. I don't actually do any real work, so I defer to Mod and Pad. I think so. Our very first season, season 0, was purely RP based, and we got a bunch of complaints that look at all these people that are bad and they're ranked so high. So we switched it over to MMR, and Pad and Modmoto liked it better. And look, they're the talent, so they're important. But
Like, who's bad that was high? I want to see good players up there.
I mean, I don't remember because I liked RP, but
Yeah, the issue with RP was.
Oh, I see. Yeah, Sonky was the problem. He was ranked 5. I'm just kidding.
There were people, for example, when we had it by RP, there were people that were in Master, but they never played Master or Grandmaster players because their real MMR was, for example, Platinum or Diamond, and they were sitting in Master and never playing against their peers in this league, which felt like a flaw of the system.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I
I
guess
also
that's
think-
interesting. The thing about this kind of stuff is that people might never really agree. There's always going to be like somebody that says, oh, it should be like this. No, it should be like this. It's
We're
very hard
learning
to
that.
make everybody happy in that regard for sure. I don't look at the ladder right now and I'm like, there are big problems personally. Like, I think it's mostly fine. At first, I was really weirded out by the 2,200 MMR requirements to be in Grandmaster because there was like 2 people in there. But as they play more games, I guess there's going to be more people joining in there and stuff. Then maybe we finally get Happy's 8 accounts as well in the top 30. That's really going to help fill it out too.
and we're thinking about dropping the MMR gate for NA because I think there's very few people in there. Now, I know a lot of these issues the NA community thinks it applies NA and we're going to make magic changes and people are going to ladder more on NA. And I'm so willing to work on that and make it happen. But I think the main issue for NA is ping. And the best players are in Europe and they're going to go there.
Yeah.
So I don't really know how to magically make people queue on NA. I don't think a math formula is going to make it happen.
Yeah,
but
Radiant
I'm happy to
AGS.
be-
Todd, can you talk about how we can resolve the NS server being basically dead and we have to go up EU? Yeah. You have to invent a fucking time machine and then we can make this fucking game a successful launch so that there would be more players and then that would fix everything NA related because then the player pool would be bigger. And then
He
Grandmaster
also
would fill up.
corrects himself later and says he's just talking about 2-on-2. The 1-on-1 is fine.
Okay, we don't care about. No, I'm just kidding. No, we care about 2-on-2 obviously, but yeah, I mean, it's just a player pool thing, right? It's not like Floss said, right? Like you can't magically do something that will make people play more on NA. Like it's just the community hopefully can work together. We can try to push the game upwards, and then hopefully more people are gonna play. Maybe some will come back, maybe some will discover the game, and then the player pool will getting bigger will make these things get better. What do you think?
Like also the tournament that we made or that we're gonna do is we'll have some prize money for NA as well, and I think this would be was one idea to maybe increase the player base on NA a little bit. Maybe even if you players start playing on NA just to rank up to Grandmaster there, I don't know, but at least people would be playing there. I think it would benefit both sides, like the true NA players and people that would go over there and revitalize the scene there a little bit. And but yeah, it's really hard. I think, but also I think Blizzard has problems like that to revitalize the scene in somewhere. It's really hard, and we don't have like the. We were also talking sometimes that we're gonna go make some marketing somewhere for a little bit of money. I don't know if it's worth it. To get the player base raised a little bit, but it's also hard. Where would we start there? But yeah, I think like one idea was the prize pool for NA as well, and have a separate tournament for them also, so it doesn't clash with you.
See an increase already since season 2 started on the American server?
I actually don't know. I wanted to do the statistic, but it didn't come around. I'm on holidays right now.
You were too
but I wanted
busy
to
laying
do
on
a
the beach. Come on, be honest.
Let's see if I
you
can
can
do
see,
it.
right?
It's pretty easy to get this stuff.
No, the idea was that I wanted to like, especially also for the 2v2 and 4v4, how many games are being played. I think it would be interesting to see, and that you can check it out on compared to the region, to NA and EU, so we can see if it helps the scene or not. But I will do it in the next few days, and then we can see how that turned out.
So what will be the prize pool structuring then for the end of season tournaments? You said like, you know, there was money being raised and stuff. I believe. I'm not sure if it was like a set prize pool. It's an 8 players tournament for Europe and an 8 players tournament for NA, and it's just solo. There's no 2-on-2, all the stuff, right?
Right. Maybe we could flash up that Matcherito link.
Do I have it?
Let's see if I can give it to you in Discord. You can see we're super good at fundraising.
Send it to me. I'll show it.
Yeah, here it comes. Yes. So there's a Matcherito prize pool. It's currently at $1,350. It's going to be split. 65% is going to be the prize pool for Europe. 35% is going to be for NA. We have not decided. It's not capped.
You don't say like we save for next season anything. You just put everything into season 1.
You've run tournaments. Tell us what, advise us. What should we do?
Well, I mean, it depends the scale of the tournament. Like, I mean, obviously, if you put 65% of 1,350 for Europe, the main guy that's going to be pretty damn happy is happy himself, because he's going to make quite a bit of money again for his bank accounts. So usually I try to take it like proportionally. Obviously, it's epic, that there is like a good amount of money, but let's say like this gets to like, 1,500, 2K and stuff. It does feel like it's a lot of money, and maybe you could save some of it for the next season, for example. Like I think it happened to Neo as well when he did the Korea tournament. And then people donated like $2,000 or something, and it was like, it's just a 4 players tournament. Like, it's crazy money. Like, maybe we'll save some of it for the next one. So you should really start thinking about maybe saving some of that for the next season, so that if maybe there is less money that's raised, you obviously have a good starting prize pool that people already have an interest. Like this does feel like it's a lot.
That's smart. Let's talk about that internally. About raising money for the tournament. Back to our Infi gossip. I hear that they really want him to play. There's maybe some issues getting money out of China, but they're like, it's the prize pool will shoot from 1,000 to 10,000. If we get it up that high, that could fund a number of tournaments. More so than thinking about the future, let's think about this tournament though, because we don't even know how we're going to pay out. I know some people want it to be very top heavy. probably Happy's in my DMs telling me to make it top one. I'm kidding. But I personally think it should be, if you make it to top 8, I think it should pay out top 8. What do y'all think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
can I chime in and rewind a little to the question if you should save something for the next season? Because Todd, you know how the Home Story Cup works, for example. At the end, there's always this big fundraise segment, I guess, and people love it. And people always ask me when I do the weekly cups, like, how can we increase the prize pool? Like, yeah, that's not really possible. We save stuff for the longevity, but for this one tournament, it's always going to be 100. But the thing, like, people love to raise the prize pool and to break certain prize pool ceilings. So it could be it could be a good idea to let it open, because there is enough time to gather money for the second season, I think.
Yeah.
Or third
Well, especially
season.
if you run it for a whole season, it's 6 weeks, so it's plenty of time. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Is it unfair to say, I mean, we haven't capped it? Like, at what point will we have to say, hey, man, the money you gave now, it's going to next season? Is that frustrating to people?
You just need to be upfront about it, as long as you write it on the page. That's what I did for my tournaments. You know, like, I don't remember the specific numbers, but my last tournament, there was a starting prize pool that I was putting in, like, myself, that maybe I had from the previous tournament or whatever. I'll take my next tournament, for example. I'm planning on organizing a 16 players tournament after EPT. That's probably going to be played on NA. And I think I have $260 or so on my Matcherino account. $75 of which is my Back to Warcraft weekly prize pool, and the rest is left over from last tournament. So I'm going to reinvest my prize pool. So anyway, I'm going to put that into a tournament, and I'm going to say that I'm guessing that we might reach at least 600, you know? But if we don't, maybe I'll add some more of my own money to make sure that the players get a good payout if it's a 16 players tournament. But I'm hopeful that we'll be able to raise a bunch. But if we go above, like, where should I cap it? You know, like, should I say like 1,200, 1,500 max? Like, you have to decide depending on like who's attending, what are their expectations. A lot of players tell me, oh, we'll play for almost nothing because we really want to play this kind of tournament. It's amazing that there is a tournament on NA for once. So it's hard. You just need to think about it, maybe talk with a lot of players, like get their advice, and then you decide like where the cutoff point is. If you even cap it at all, you don't have to. It's up to you what you do. But then if you get, let's say, like some absurd amounts in donations, it seems not as good to use everything on one tournament, I personally think, because then you can make a lot of more great content in the future. You know, it's not like, it's not being greedy. It's just like longevity, safety thing, right? You don't know if people are always going to support raising these prize pools as much. I'm still somewhat conflicted myself about raising prize pool like I do it, but I personally think it would be 1,000 times better if we had some sponsors giving us a couple 500 bill, 1,000 bill to organize tournaments. But with the way Warcraft 3 is now, it's very, very rare that we are able to get that. So that's kind of the way I think about it. But like, obviously everybody does their own thing and can decide how they want to do it.
I appreciate the suggestion, because when we were first talking about end-season tournament, I didn't even want to have money. I thought prestige would be enough because I personally hate fundraising. And if you have a huge amount and it funds a bunch of tournaments, that's less work for us. So I really hadn't thought about it, but I like it. What do y'all think about how the money should be paid out?
Again, I have to interrupt you. There's a cool idea by Nordman. He says you could stop fundraising for this tournament after the semifinals, and everything that comes in afterwards is for the next season. So you do have a race to raise the prize pool for this season, plus you give the viewers a choice to already start funding the next one.
I'm opening up a document to take notes. These are good ideas.
Yeah, man. This Nordman dude. Shout out.
Tournament 101 live on Town Hall's meeting.
So
we called this so we could brainstorm stuff. Well, I just kind of want to shoot.
Yeah, of course. Like it's also pretty interesting for us, I guess, because none of us really organized a tournament before. We're gonna get some help from Back to Warcraft guys, I guess. But I even wasn't aware that you kept that sometimes, and cool to know that. I think that's. Because like the one guy, the Panda Hug, how's it called? Like who spent $500 on the tournament. I don't know if we have a Panda Hug 2 next season. Yeah, shout out to you guy, whoever you are. Thanks for that. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked. Let's see how that turns out, and maybe next season we cap it, or this season. Let's talk about that later in private, I guess. But good ideas, of course. Yeah.
Was it already shared, like the exact date, or it's to be decided, like sometime?
5th and 6th, and
Yeah.
season ends August 28th, whatever the Friday is. I'll tell you right now.
The Friday is 4th. Isn't that the start of the NA tournament as well? So NA 4 and 5 and Europe 5 and 6?
That's right. So
Yeah.
the end of season is Friday, August 28th. NA tournament is Friday the 4th, Saturday the 5th. EU is Saturday the 5th, Sunday the 6th
Of September, yeah. So August.
of September. So a week after the season.
Oh, wait,
so we
Neil,
could
isn't there
do
like some Meisterschaft?
There is a Meisterschaft, that's why the NA starts on the 4th
Oh my
and the
God.
Europe starts on the 5th.
Yeah.
big weekend
Yeah.
for Germany and W3Champions
And the world.
and the world.
Okay, so let's talk about the zoom out that a lot of people have been talking
No,
about.
I think Floss wanted to talk about the prize pool distribution.
Oh,
I interrupted
let's
him
just make
twice,
this
and now
different.
I
You
saved
pay-
this topic.
If you pay top 8, I think it should be 40, 20, 10, 10, 5, 5, 5. Is that good?
40.
I'm very bad at
Without tournament?
percentages.
Yeah.
It
First
adds
of
up
all,
to
they
100.
couldn't be 3 5s. Like it would be 4.
4, 5. First and second get 40 and 20. Third and fourth both get 10. That adds up to 80. And then 5, 6, 7, 8.
Is
each
it
get
gonna be a
5%.
double bracket or?
We also don't know that yet.
Yeah, we need to
Not
talk
for
about the
sure.
tournament, boys. we got $1,300. Don't know what we're
Do
doing.
we know the map pool? Like,
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, the
I
current
think it'd be better with the double brackets. Like, I look at the recent WGL. I don't know what you guys think. Obviously, it's maybe more spectator friendly because it's very straightforward. It's 4 groups of 4 GSL formats, double elimination, and then it's just 8 players single brackets. Yes, very spectator friendly for a hardcore guy like me. Not good. There should have been a lower bracket. Give us more games. Give Lin a chance to play against somebody else than lose against 2 Ls in a row. You know, like, I wanted to see Lin against humans again. His streak was finally broken. I was like, here we go. Lin against Infi, Lin against TH. Show that to me. That didn't even happen. The Undeads, 100% win rate against human. We didn't get 120 against Infi and TH. And then people are like, oh, you said you were going to shave your hair. Shut up. This is just like a once-in-a-lifetime tournament. This is ridiculous. So,
I think you wanted, like, not to talk about balance anymore.
yeah, it's not talking about balance. It's just tournament formats. Like, I want...
Yeah, I agree.
So
I want
my
tournaments
thoughts
to
are
have more game. As a
convenience.
hardcore guy, and I think like there's a lot of hardcore people in Warcraft 3, and even if you're a casual, how could you not enjoy more games? Like, I'm not saying we do like groups of 8 and Swiss for like 2 weeks, you know, like it is not PGL, but more games doesn't hurt, especially not double brackets. So if you're going to do an 8 players tournament, which probably would have been better with 16, but we'll see next season, at least do a double bracket. That's my advice.
So we start with 8 for baby steps because we want to, and we're only doing Grandmaster. We're just increment. And our thoughts to keep it small is like convenience. Yeah, I'd love to watch all these games, but I'm making Neo and Remo cast it, right? Like they're busy men.
They love
So-
it.
Yeah. I mean, I
no,
guess
the
I
days
defer
are
to
just-
Neo. Like whatever you want to cast, we're probably happy to do.
All right. I love double elim as well. We would need like a second stream probably, but I think the
Found
format
'em.
is way better.
You think what?
I think the double elim is way better than single elim.
Yeah.
I think so as well. I think it's way more interesting. But when we talked about it, we were kind of crunching the numbers and thought that it would take up too much time, and especially now when we have to put it on a weekend, 2 tournaments each. Like on Friday, we won't be starting at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, or 12 o'clock, and on Saturday will be quite a cramped because we're gonna have 2 tournaments, the ending and the starting of the new. And I think we decided to go for a single elimination in this case because just to have the time to play it out. But maybe we're gonna go back and crunch the numbers again and see if we can fit all these games into the time we need. And of course, I would also be a favor of double elimination because it makes the tournament much more fun, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we do an 8-player double elim for the WGL Western qualifiers every time. And if you split the early rounds on 2 streams, then it's totally fine.
Mhm.
I have a schedule somewhere in a file. I will send it over to you with the exact times and how long a broadcast
That seems
lasts. and
good.
stuff.
Yeah.
So tentatively double a limb. I'm good with that.
Me too.
All right, sounds good. And yeah, for the prize pool, honestly, I don't think you should look at a few examples from tournaments, and then I think it's nice to pay everyone because if you
It's an accomplishment to make top 8 for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Totally.
yeah, getting a little bit of money, the some of those dirty sports dollars, it's pretty nice as well for making top 8, which is obviously hard to get. So yeah, even if it's something small, but then some people might argue that if as top 8 you get 5% of the prize pool, and as top 4 you only get 10%, maybe it's not that big a difference. But it's I think it sounds fair, like the numbers you mentioned. Personally, like I'm happy he's gonna win anyway, so if he was
that's the way to build some hype, Todd.
No,
Great
my money's
job.
on
if it
Todd.
was up to me, we'd pay the first place the least. All right, that's what's up. Yeah, no, but
And
it sounded.
what also will be coming, we're gonna do like little icons that you get if you qualify for the end of season tournament, and of course if you win it, like I don't know if you're gonna make first, second, and third or fourth in this case, like, but you're for sure gonna get some nice icons on the website that you're gonna show off.
That's sick.
And brag about.
That's super awesome.
And when we're gonna add profiles in the client, then of course they will show up there as well. Yeah. It's not decided how they look yet,
Yeah.
but something like that will come for sure. Also for seasons, if you participated or ranked in the season, then you're gonna get some nice little badges, like small ones, 24 by 24 pixels maybe. And and we also already still have the information who played in which season, so we can give the badges out in the next maybe weeks, I guess, when we finish the feature. Something like this would be cool.
Yeah.
I guess.
That's so awesome. I don't know how much work that is, but that is such a nice touch just to reward the players and give it a little bit more incentive to play. Yeah, thumbs up for that. Really cool.
If somebody wants to join us, somebody who is very proficient with Photoshop or has some artistic skills to paint a little bit, especially for icons, contact us. We're gonna make it happen.
Yeah, Shad. Go ahead, man.
Okay, shall we talk about the zoom out?
Yes.
Who wants to go first? Or actually, I guess I'll give some context. Again, if there's some people that are watching this on YouTube and maybe haven't followed all that has happened around that, or if you're listening to this as a podcast, there is a zoom out feature that's available on NetEase where you can zoom out up to your choice, from just a little bit to quite a bit, so that you're like way far. And to be honest, this is one of the features that should have come out with Reforged, but like many things, it wasn't there. Warcraft 3 came out during a time where everybody was using CRT monitors, and now we got like wide monitors that are like way bigger than anything we ever used before, so it doesn't feel very adapted for the game, in my opinion, if you compare it especially to games like StarCraft or something, where even as an observer you can still zoom out a bunch. So yeah, that was added on NetEase. A lot of pro players, like almost all of them, they use it to some degree. Some of them are like zoomed all the way out, some of them just a little bit. Obviously, Foggy uses it. And that's already been a problem for any European that had to play on NetEase, because once you go back on BNet, that wasn't available. So now a couple players, including Foggy, they play on W3Champions, and they just installed the add-on for it and started playing zoomed out. And then some people were like outraged. They're like, oh my god, Vac, Axer, what is he doing? Like, he shouldn't be allowed to play like this. There's a tournament going for the top 8. So, like, first of all, calm your tits, if that's the case. I think this should be legal, and I guess we get to talk about it now. I really think, like, this should be part of the game, but because it's not, the community has to take matters into their own hands. And hopefully we can get that added to maybe W3Champions. Is that something that would be possible?
I'll start there, and then I'll let someone else talk about the drama. So Gab is taking the lead on this. He has already started working it. The plan is to get it through World Editor so that it's actually contained within the map. And in our mind, that allows us to get around any type of EULA violations.
Yeah.
We host you via custom games. There's plenty of custom games that have Zoom. The actual functionality of it right now, my suggestion was that it would be you would type something like -Zoom 2000, which you see in a lot of custom games. Standard is about 1649. In my mind, that's the best way because it's also information spreading, because your opponent sees you type Zoom 2000, like, oh wow, I can Zoom now. But Gab, because he's a rock star, is also working on trying to get it to stay like a persistent. You choose it once and it stays there, which again, that's more convenient, but I like letting everyone know about it. So it seems to be possible. Gab currently has a lot of IRL stuff coming up, but he is still working on it. So I don't know when or if Zoom is coming, but it is being worked on by someone who is extremely competent.
Yeah.
As for drama, I love drama, but I'm talking a lot, so I'll let someone else talk about it.
But I think the thing you mentioned that your enemy also sees which Zoom you're playing, I think that's pretty good. But if we have it consistent, I'm pretty sure that we also can just show it in game through a script. I don't know. I'm not sure about the world editor hacking, but if you can Zoom it, you can for sure show a message to everybody on which Zoom level the enemy is playing. This should be possible, and I think this would cover both ways. I think it's.
But so you wouldn't pick your Zoom before the game. It would be once the game starts, you type something and then you get the specific Zoom.
No, the idea is that what we wanted to implement, that you can. Right now, we're also working on a launcher again, one that's for Mac and Windows. And the best idea would be that you set it in the launcher or you set it in game somewhere on a W3Champions options menu or somewhere like that. And then it will persist through the games. I don't know. We don't know if that's completely possible, but that's the goal that we try to achieve. Because it will be pretty annoying if you have to type it every game. But
like typing GG.
Should be way too much hassle.
We're too busy for that.
Not even every game, like just the 20% game of I lose. I don't even want to do it.
Yeah, the goal is to do it with the least actions you have to do, so it gets convenient for people. Yeah.
Neo, do you feel like this should be legal and like added to everything?
Yeah. I think if it's available for everyone, then for sure. So I think the best approach is to have it somehow. I'm not a coder or whatever, so I say somehow implemented into the W3Champions tool. So you don't have to go to a third-party homepage and download something that could potentially be a hack, whatever. That's not cool. So it should be available for everyone. I do realize that it's like, if you don't allow it, how would you figure this out if someone is using it? Then you would have to watch all the streams.
Yeah.
And that doesn't give people the incentive to stream on your platform, because then they're getting caught. So you have less or fewer streamers, and then there's less attention, and then not too many people find W3Champions. So that's pretty much undoable with the limited staff that this project has. As a caster, please, as fast as possible. It's so bad when you have a day and you start with a NetEase cast, and I have this all figured out there, and I'm zoomed out for sure on NetEase. And then you start the Back to Warcraft Cup, for example, and you're on BattleNet, and it's like everything is so close to my face. I can't. This is so bad. I would love to have zoom out for sure. It just should be available for everyone, and of course, yeah, for free and easy to set up. And then I'm totally fine.
Yeah, I'm showing on the stream here one of, I think Foggy, he must be zoomed all the way out. Like that looks like really high for sure. And I was going to say, what happens when the World Championship rolls around early next year in Katowice and we're playing on BNet? And then we tell Infi and these guys, sorry guys, by the way, we forgot to tell you, but you're going to be playing the old school Warcraft 3 without the zoom outs. Deal with it, suckers. No more cheating for you. What's up now? No, like this would be pretty stupid. Again, like I really think this in my opinion, belongs in the game. There is a good chance, by the way, I'm gonna play like shit because I suck with change, and I think a lot of people do. Like, there is a guy in the chat who just said this camera zoom out should be illegal. Game was not designed for this. Like, so I understand. Like, some people are gonna think like that, but you need to remember the game was designed so long ago. At the time we used CRT monitors. I feel like if you observe a good amount of Warcraft 3, if you play a good amount of Warcraft 3, there's always gonna be those moments where it looks like the fight is just bigger than the whole screen.
Yeah.
And then you need to for sure be able to see a little more.
I would love to know if this guy wants to play on 4x3 again as well.
Hopefully not.
I can remember when we introduced 16 or native 16x9 to W3 Arena, and no one said it's bad. Like, just go with the times, man.
Yeah. What about HP bars? HP bars used to be not be in the game. And,
Yeah.
and then they made it optional. And then like almost everybody adopted it, but very few players, they were still pressing Alt. I think actually Appy might have been one of them. He was pressing Alt, Hazu Ups maybe as well. And it was like the weirdest thing because it's like so obvious it's so much better for the game that HP bars are on and you shouldn't have to press Alt all the time. But of course there's going to be a few people saying like, no, this is like cheating. I prefer people press Alt because I'm pressing Alt as well and I want to get used to the new thing. So I think it's kind of similar in that for sure, where like over time it's just going to be something that's like accepted. Obviously it does look a little bit extreme, I gotta say. Yeah, it's foggy zoom because it's like really, really far out. I didn't even know it could go that far, but I still think it's beneficial for the game. Like it's not only advantages, it's gonna make it harder for him to maybe micro sometimes because his units are like so little and stuff. So any timelines for this to be coming to W3 Champions?
I know Gab's working on it. As soon as I know, I'll let y'all know, I promise.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think pretty sure we don't want to give that much of a timeline because we don't know if it works, how we're gonna do it.
Well, we used up
So
Blizzard's timeline, so you
put
could
it-
never do worse. You know, you could tell us like, oh, it's coming out tomorrow. We still won't be disappointed compared to what Blizzard.
No,
comes
we're gonna go old Blizzard style. It's done when it's done. I like this.
Yeah, the problem with this is that we need to use custom maps because we don't have access to the actual game code. We can only do changes like this with custom maps, and we need a better system to update maps so
Yeah.
people can install W3 Champions and play.
So for me, as a technic noob, I know that this zoom out hack is available, and I know that W3 Champions is available. Why can't you just implement it like that existing tool?
Yeah, that's obviously an option. I don't know how the tool works, to be honest. We would have to look it up, see how it's made. But the main problem is that we're not so sure if we want to use it that way, that it would make W3 Champions more or less a hack, because then if you zoom it, then you can also zoom in normal ladder games. And if we make it only contained in the maps, then we are for sure not pissing off Blizzard or any Euler, EULA. And I don't think that. I think it's better this way, because then we keep it like only focus to W3 Champions, and also we're gonna give other people more incentives to play on W3 Champions instead of the normal BattleNet. And because we offer more features, other features. That was the idea. Yeah.
That sounds
But
very reasonable
we will see
and
if we
responsible.
if we see if it doesn't go the way we want, then maybe we ditch it altogether, or we don't know. That's just why I said we can't give a timeline in this case. We just see how it goes.
All right. There was a Blizz RTS lead designer classic games position that was posted and then closed without any announcements. What's the story there? I guess Floss, maybe you know something about it?
Yeah,
or-
this is my shill moment. I mean, I love Warcraft 3. I have an amazing in real life job, but we just moved and my commute's really far. So I'm like, let me throw my hat in for this. There was no announcement, no posting. What's the deal? If that job exists, I'm putting my hat in for it. And I can tell you right now, they took that position down, but there was a list of responsibilities. I'm looking right now. There's 8 bullet points. Coordinate with leadership to set high-level direction, communicate project vision, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm looking through it. I'm like, I do all that already right now. And I promise you I have the best interest of Warcraft at heart. I could put you in touch with the real talent. I don't know where he is on the screen, but these are the boys.
Yeah, but this says classic games though. It doesn't say just Warcraft
true.
3. Like you're gonna end up on Diablo Mobile and like wonder where you all went wrong.
It was specific in the posting, which is now down. I can't look at it anymore, but it was StarCraft 2, StarCraft 1, Warcraft 3. If that position's gone, but you want to put a sub minion lackey position for Warcraft, just all I'm saying is get at me. Like, we have W3 Champions. We think it's the best ladder possible. We want to make Warcraft 3 as good as possible. I know my colleagues, my teammates might feel differently, a little nuanced about it. I know Neo feels differently, but like, I want to work with Blizzard. You know, if need be, I would work for Blizzard. I want Abe and Mod to give their own opinions. I'm not speaking them for right here, but in my opinion, for the long-term health of the game, I think there needs to be one ladder. It needs to be the official and the best ladder. I would hope that would be Blizzard. I want for it to be Blizzard. I know Mod and Abe, and I want them to talk about this too. If Blizz isn't up to snuff, they're going to keep W3 Champions running because they feel like they owe it to the community, and we love the community. But look, I just want to make things work, baby. And I want good things for Warcraft 3. If there's a position open and I can work from home and do good for this community that I love and this game that's amazing, just get at me. That's all I'm saying. Just come get at me. That's all I'll say about it. Unless any of y'all know who hired this RTS guy. Like, if you know who that is, put him in touch with me or her.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. This is something we haven't really talked about, but actually we can do it now. I got this, I don't know how I skipped a bunch of stuff, but yeah, I was gonna show that. So we talked about W3 Champions, but Warcraft 3 Reforged developer update, ranked play, so that was posted July 22nd, so very recently. So Warcraft, or Blizzard, finally announced that they were gonna release their own ladder. I feel like we have to explain everything, you know, not everybody will follow like all the news super closely.
No, good host.
Yeah, there is a bunch of screenshots in there, you know, it looks kind of flashy, it looks cool, but it's a global fucking ladder. Come on. Like, it doesn't have to be global. Like, we don't want to have global matchmaking. I don't want to play like on the Korean server. We already settled that. We don't want to play with 400, 600 ping. Like, this is a little bit silly. So, of course, we all agree a ladder inside of the game that's accessible to everybody is beneficial. But I've mentioned this so many times before in the tunnel. Like, when Pad was the one doing W3 Champions, why didn't they just partner up with him, even if he couldn't move to California? Just find a way to make it work. This is the best thing you can do for the game. By far. It's not even close. They can still do it. Just partner up with W3 Champions. Find a way to merge those two ladders. Work with them, because you guys are much more in touch with what's expected from a community than they are. And like, you guys understand that doing a global thing is just a little bit silly. Even Remo went on Reddit and made a thread about it. Like, I mean, that's how ridiculous this has gotten. So I think you would agree, right, Neo? Like, this is like the dream scenario for Warcraft 3, for the potential growth of the game, is if they combine this ladder with W3 Champions and make some sort of ladder together that makes sense for not just the casual, but also the pros that are currently playing on W3 Champions.
I don't know, because yes, of course, it would be the best if the people who are in charge of W3 Champions right now would be in charge of the official ladder as well. Is it good if they work for Blizzard though? Because then they would be under corporate control. And I saw some people getting hired by Blizzard, and it almost feels like they turn into different people. There is, of course, good examples who still stay awesome. There's also bad apples who are just corporate shills now, and I don't want to talk to them anymore. I still want the W3 Champions guys to be free and independent and do what they do now and do what they think is best after talking with the community. What if they get hired and the higher-ups of Blizzard say, yeah, you like to talk with the community? We don't. Don't do that. What then? Then the W3Champions ladder is not as close to the community as it is now. And is it then still as likable as it is now? I don't think so. They can, in my opinion, copy all the stuff that W3Champions does, but let them pave the way and let them figure out what's best. That's my opinion on things.
I think if Blizzard just goes ahead and does this ladder that they announced with global matchmaking and whatever, I honestly don't know how much that's gonna help, like introduce new players and all of that. So maybe like a little bit, but I think almost for sure, the good players, the competitive players that play on W3 Champion, they're not gonna play on that ladder. They're just gonna stay on W3 Champions, and that's silly to have to split ladder. It's just so much better working together, in my opinion, and doing like one combined thing, because then even the casuals, they might be able to see the ladder. They'll see like these stats. They're like, oh my god, who is this guy? And then if there is player profiles, if you finally get that on BNet as well, they'll be like, oh, this is happy. I'm going to go on his stream and check how he has 99% win rate and 6 accounts in the top 30 of Grandmaster. And then they'll be like, oh my god, this guy is so good. And then they'll turn into like one of these guys that's part of Happy's cult. They praise him in the micro and everything. No, I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean? Like, they'll discover the good players. They'll discover the streams. They'll get involved with the esports side of things. And I think that would just be really fun to like see that, because it's just good for the health of the game in general. And I think we can all kind of recognize that. But I also understand your concerns, Neo, that if somebody goes and work for a big company like Blizzard, they're obviously not going to do everything that they want to do necessarily, because there is always some higher up deciding. So I understand how you could worry that if W3 Champion, let's say like they started working with Blizzard, and Blizzard is like, oh, we're going to do this way, this way, but we'll only take these few things from you guys, then it's still going to be a very different thing than W3 Champions. So yeah, I agree. I think ideally there should be some compromise, obviously, right? Maybe I think like for a big company, it's almost impossible to just hire a few guys or even just partner up and say like, oh yeah, we're going to let you run everything, by the way. Like, that's just not very realistic. But there is a compromise, in my opinion, in there that's like the most beneficial thing that could happen to the game. And that's what I'm dreaming happens. Because Warcraft 3 is still a really good game, even though Creep Lord is fucking stupid, and I hate this game on most days when I play against Undead. And I want to see it thrive. And I think a lot of people do. You guys do as well. So yeah. Like, Floss, do you think that like that would be realistic? Like, but I guess like you're already in the US, but like, for example, like how would that work? Do you see like a lot of ways this could work? Are you like very open-minded to the idea that maybe something like that could work? And do you think there is a realistic chance, or because of the radio silence that there has been from Blizzard, do you think that maybe it's unlikely?
So I'm trying to be very realistic. I really do love Warcraft 3. I really would be willing to have it be a source of income, even a primary source of income, like Brave Neo. I think it's amazing that you do that. I wish I could be like you. So brave. But you do have to be realistic. I mean, right here, this is my big play. When I tell you, like, I'm shilling for Blizzard, like, this is my play. I have contacts with Blizzard. I've been trying to do behind the scene. And, full disclosure, I told them about this town hall. I said, like, please watch. I think that they're incredibly cordial. They respond same day to when I ask them things, but it's clear that, they're clear too. They're like, I'm not Blizzard official spokesman. So I don't know who speaks for Blizzard. I don't know if they're in our Discords. I honestly kind of doubt it. Like,
they are. At least
I hope. I don't know. I honestly don't know what Blizzard knows about the game. I want them to see this game is such a jewel. It feels like it's such a layup to make so much money with it. And I don't care about the money, but I know that they do. But I just don't know what they know about the game. So when it comes down to it, I'm just saying, like, come talk to us. We want to help. We want the best. And if you want us to help your bottom line, we'll do that too. Is it realistic? This is my play. So ask me in a week if anyone contacts me.
Just to catch up on the realistic side of things, I'm also a little bit realistic in this regard, and I think it's not really feasible, especially
Code-wise.
Like code-wise. The tech that we choose is, I think everybody knows it. We kind of inject HTML like websites more or less into the client, because like the UI that you see there when you open your Warcraft is actually just a website, and then we inject it in there, and then we start everything over custom games. I guess everybody knows that more or less, and I think everything that we built there, also all the backend and a lot of the website, website could be reused, I guess, a little bit, but a lot of it would have to be rewritten into the official backend and into the client itself, so it doesn't start a custom game. And I don't think the merge of these two technologies is possible at all. Like, especially how we develop the in-game client, it's pretty hacky because you can't, for the nerds out there, you cannot really debug it. You can't look at the internals really. You always have to find some workarounds to do something. It's pretty hard to do, and I'm pretty sure that Blizzard will not use this in-game client that we use and put it on the official game. Especially because we already saw that we can really break the client if we do something wrong in the in-game, so the UI gets fucked up totally and you don't see anything anymore. And I think, and also you have to admit, sometimes we have some issues, server issues when we're down for a few hours, and I don't think that's something that a big company, okay, Blizzard also fucks up on the server sometimes, but I guess it's something that you cannot wholeheartedly incorporate into your game. Just give something we could really break everything in the game if you wanted to, and that's I think because of this they will never officially allow something like that. And I think what they could take from us, maybe if they pay close attention, that what resonates with the community very well, what they like, what they don't like, especially like, for example, the global matchmaking, that this is something that the community does not want, and it's like one of the main reasons that people play on W3Champions, and of course all other stuff as well. But like, this was the main reason that W3Champions was founded, that we have a usable ping. Nobody wants to play with 500 ping. And of course, this was always something that people told me, thanks for doing it. I would have stopped long ago if I would have to play on the official Battle.net ladder with 500, 700 ping every third, fourth game, something like that. And I think if they don't fix this, like you said, Todd, I think it's going to be hard to keep the official ladder a good one, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah, can I add something to this?
of course.
Yeah. What I wanted to say is that we don't have to officially work for Blizzard. I'm willing to help them if they contact us. I don't want any money or anything.
Same.
I just want to make the game playable and people happy. I do it for fun in my free time. I like to play with things and make the community happy. So I don't have to work for them if they want us to help them, because apparently we know how. So if they need help, they can contact us. We can adopt our code to be placed in the official game client if they give us such an opportunity. So everybody can play and not install W3Champions as a third party tool.
You're a nice guy. Give me your address later. I'll send you a webcam.
It's so funny, dude.
I'm really
I think,
curious, guys. Obviously, you read the devlog that they put out last week. While you read it, I would love to know, what do you know that you guys do better already than what we will get from Blizzard in month? What are the flaws in the Blizzard system that W3Champions is already doing better, except for the global matchmaking, maybe?
Of course, the first thing that comes to mind is profiles, for example. There's something that they, as far as I got it, they didn't. I think you will see your rank or something like that, and your wins, something like that, but nothing more. I think you won't see how many games you played with each race or something. Maybe you will see it, but not like in a profile, I guess. I think that's out of the question. And I think one thing that I really liked on our page is the statistics, like the personal statistics that you get to see what is the best race. We already have also a statistic that we wanted to incorporate that shows how you play with what hero on what map. So you can see, okay, Farseer is good. When I play Farseer, I'm pretty good on, I don't know, Turtle Rock or whatever, something else, yeah. And this would be some statistics we want to incorporate, and in my opinion, also like the global statistics that you can see, which hero is being played, how's the matchup for each season, and not for each patch, and stuff like that. How are the maps? What maps should I pick as a competitive player if I want to have the best chances as human versus undead, for example? And yeah, something like that.
What do you think about if W3Champions was added into BNets, but as a supplement to the ladder, the more casual ladder that's being added? Do you see that as something that could be realistic, or is it too much? Like they basically Blizzard would be admitting that they needed to get like this external ladder for it to be good. Like we know that it would be good for the game, but for a big company, it works differently the way they think, right? Like.
It's not realistic, I think, but if they come and tell us, can you guys implement this?
In parallel to the ladder that they're already adding, I think that'd be really sick. If you had like a section in the ladder that's like the W3Champions section.
They probably charge monthly for it, which is not a bad business model, but it sucks for us. I mean,
what do you mean charge
like
monthly?
You have unranked play, give the game for free. Unranked play, charge $1 a month to be able to play on ladder. Like I can see people just counting the money after that.
Do you think they would charge for that?
Just you got to think about people who think about their bottom line.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they would. I think just as an initial ladder, and like you guys sound very reasonable. Some of you are literally saying we don't need any money. So, like even let's say they wanted to buy W3Champions, I'm sure they could get a very reasonable price. And like just pay for your services to also help them implement it or whatever. Like, I don't know. I don't really understand business. You know, I became a Warcraft 3 player at a very young age, so I had to quit school. So maybe I don't understand how the world works. But I'm just a naive young man that wishes the best for the game that he loves, and that would like to see W3Champions somehow partner up with Blizzard and be added into the game clients so that things can be better. And I don't want to lose all the features that we have. Like, there's a bunch of people in the chat saying like, yeah, the stats are amazing. I agree. I still want to be able to browse a website and see the stats on the game. Who did what hero, how long the game lasted, like how much they crept, how much gold they mined, tells me who expanded and stuff. Because even though we don't get replays, even though we can't join game like we can on NetEase to observe the ladder games, we at least get that. And then we get the separate statistics and stuff, which is really awesome.
Yeah, this is one of my concerns. I think that if Blizzard release a ladder, and when they do it, there will be no site. There will be just in-game ladder.
It's going to be sad to lose statistics for sure. The statistics are so good.
All right. Let's go to the next thing. Floss, you want to take over? I don't even know exactly how I'm supposed to.
I sent him some show notes. Very professional.
What do you love about W3C as it is? We've just been talking about it for an hour. I don't know, like, how do I even bring this up?
I guess this is maybe where we could do some of the reader questions, but we've answered a lot of it.
No, that's at the end.
Okay.
The Q&A.
I guess I just wanted to ask Mod and Abe what features they specifically worked on that they're proud that they brought in, and what do they want to see happen in the future. I guess I'll start. This will be like my personal suggestions. I love badge ideas. I'm so excited. I can't wait for those to come. I love automated tournaments. I know Gab's gonna be looking at that too. And I had one other that I'm blanking on right now. So Mod, what are your thoughts about W3C and where it's gonna go?
I think for me, I did a lot of the statistics so far. Did a lot of work on the website and in-game client, the chat and clans stuff. That was mainly from me. And the stuff that I like the most in W3Champions is more or less that you can really feel it's a community project. It's more of a meta. It's not the features anyway, but you can really, it's so fun that sometimes it's super annoying that when you're in Discord and people are raging about something, but it's a completely new experience for me because I work in a rather big company. It's Renke, a bank in Germany, and a bank. Oh, a bank is the right word. And you really don't see the customer in this case. And in this case, as soon as I put out a feature, you get likes or dislikes, or you put out a feature and break the whole website, something like that. And it's much more fun, in my opinion, to really work like a on a living and a thriving project. In this case, this is my most favorite part, and it also, like, the community in our development team is pretty nice. That we talk about everything and we get feedback from each other, and you don't need a manager or anything like that. It just works, and somebody does something, you think it's cool, and then a few days later you get a new statistic on website, something like that. And this purely agile development, in my opinion, it's something that I really, really like on the W3Champions team, and also on the community, because you always get feedback and you can ask them, and guys, we want to make the icons on the website this size or this size. Do you like the big or small one? And then you get a vote, and then you make it the small one, and you can be sure that most of it will like it. It's just very small feedback cycles, and that's what I like the most, in my opinion, on this project. Yeah.
Abe, go, let us hear.
So the first things that I did for W3Champions were the live games. You enter the site and you see who's playing right now versus who. This was one of my favorite features. Then I worked on adding some new game modes like 2v2 and 4v4. Yeah, the things that Moto said are really important to me as well. For example, somebody comes raging in Discord about the bug or something that's missing, then I open the code, code it for 1 hour and release it, and I tell them, okay, it's now live, you can check it out, and they're like, what the hell, thank you. And
They
people are
usually say thank you.
yeah, this is really fun.
Is there anything that you would love to see in W3C?
Yes, we're working on automated tournaments. Also, we had some plans to do some custom keybinds in the launcher that we're building. So yeah, we hear the community. We know that people are frustrated with setting their keys in a text file. So the launcher that will be coming soon with W3Champions will probably have a feature to customize your keys. But this is something that's gonna come later.
I remembered a feature that I wanted. We talked about it even before season 1 had finished, and it was in, I think, the very first poll that we ever released to the community. But making everyone's replays available, I think, would be an incredible boon to the community. I know top players don't like it because they think that people are going to study them and be able to beat them.
Well, those that like studying like it.
It raises the level of ladder, in my opinion.
Yeah, and also usually, like, we wait until the end to do Q&A, but there's like quite a few good questions. One of them is from Rox, who just asked, could you ask if it would be possible to integrate the old WTV, I think he means WAC TV client, into W3Champions with an ops bot who works as WAC TV streamer? Then you could join and watch the games live like in NetEase.
This was a Neo suggestion, I think, when we last had a phone call about it.
Really? Sounds really good if it was my idea. But yeah, I love that.
Would that ever be possible, you think, or is that really hard?
I can't tell at all. Like, for me, example, I started playing Warcraft again 2 years ago, and I was not around when WAC TV was around. And I don't know the technology at all. I've never even have seen it. And I think from our team, I don't know if you need host bots for that. And I think, and if you need that, then you would need somebody who understands the host bot stuff, and right now we don't have anybody. We don't know if I don't know how feasible it is, because we would have to read a lot of code that we don't know, in my opinion. Also a language that I don't know. Don't know if that's feasible. I think it's a pretty cool feature in my opinion, but I don't know if we can deliver it in time or anywhere near satisfactory. So we maybe rather stay to the features that we know, and we still have some stuff to do on the normal games. I think race-based MMR for 2v2 and 4v4 is something that should still be coming, and I think we would rather go first with something like that, and then we like the pure basic functions. Also, like Blizzard also announced the unranked play. We also were thinking of maybe adding something like that in the future. Maybe that's of course something that I personally like a lot. So because especially the newer players don't have that much of ladder anxiety and say, okay, I don't want to play, I don't want to ruin my stats, or don't want to lose MMR, or you're the first one or two games, you want to warm up a little bit and then you play unranked. I think it's a cool feature, and maybe we want to go with that as well. Yeah. But I'm not so sure. One thing that I wanted to ask the chat, we were thinking about some ideas. One thing was mining gold in game. So after the game, you would collect the gold that you get, and for each 1,000 gold that you get 1 Warcraft coin, something like that. I don't know. And for those Warcraft coins, you would maybe be able to purchase some icons, some other icons that we don't have yet in the client. Something like that would be cool. And the best part of this, in my opinion, would be that, like for example, long-running FFA games would be rewarded more. Or if you play a 1-hour game 1v1 and lose it, you still would gain the same amount of Warcraft coins like your opponent. And a loss in that case wouldn't feel all too bad, and you still are incentive to play. Like it also would incentivize grinding, in my opinion, and something like that was an idea.
Yep.
Maybe Chet has an opinion about that.
Personally, this is the kind of stuff I really don't care at all too much. You know, like if for some coins I could buy a guaranteed class of attack as first item, that's something that would interest me. But other than that. I don't think it's that important for me, this kind of stuff.
It's more for players like me.
Yeah.
More bad.
Oh yeah.
For me.
We can see in chat what people. There was a couple of people that asked about, like you said, you needed an artist earlier, right? But there is some people that maybe can do other things that might be interested in helping. Like, is there a way to contact you to?
Yeah, of course.
Is there a channel?
Write us on Discord. No, just write us on Discord. We are not very hostile people. If people write us, we usually respond. And there are a few guys who also work in the background a little bit, who did like 1 or 2 small features. And it's pretty. If you have time, 1 hour, want to do a feature, contact us, and you can go for it.
Who's the best person to contact? Any of you 3 or?
Any of us 3. Right now, it's mostly me that I get. In my opinion, I think I get the most requests over Discord.
Yeah.
But of course, everybody, Floss, Ape as well, brought some guys in. Yeah. Just go for it.
So that's ModMoto on W3Champions Discord.
ModMoto brought up something that I think is actually really important to talk about: host bots. That might be the single most important feature that we could give Warcraft 3. I know before Pad left W3Champions, he told me to tell people that when they ask what can they do for W3Champions, the first thing is work on host bots. We have reached out to one person on Discord who is in the backgrounds working on it. He seems to be having a little bit of success, but look, I can tell you as a non-coder, I'm dealing with very highly competent people: ModMoto, Abe, Gab, Pad, and they're not able to do it, but they don't know an easy way to do it. So it's not an easy solution, but if you think you can tackle host bots, that could solve the NA problem. That could get Infi on W3C. I mean, we could have tournaments again. Our brothers in Australia could play. Like, it couldn't be more important. So a plea to the community: you want to help W3 Champions? Forget donating the prize pool. Forget donating the Patreon. We haven't even flashed our Patreon link. Make host bots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As
of
far as
course,
I
yeah.
understand, I'm of course a super noob, but when I talk to people, of course I want to solve this hostbot thing as well. From what I got out of this is that to make something like WAC TV working, we need hostbots first. And the hostbots are the foundation to something like WAC TV. And this is also how NetEase does it. NetEase is basically a hostbot, as far as people told me. So this NetEase Watch thing works in that way as well. And that would be the greatest thing to get that, man. I want fair conditions. I want people to be able to observe the games. That is the single most important thing in the entire scene, for sure.
But you guys were already working on hostbots, right? So it's just that it's one of a hard thing to figure out, I guess, right? Is why it hasn't been added yet.
That's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And like I said, like our team doesn't know the tech behind it. It would be a real big investment, and we don't. And as we don't know the tech, we don't know if we will succeed there. So it's maybe a lot of wasted hours and something we can't achieve. And that's
Yeah, you basically need to emulate the server on a very low level.
Yeah.
So it's not really an easy task to do, and you know how Reforged is stable in a not good network conditions. How it behaves.
Okay. What do we have next in the magnificent notes of Floss? What do
Let me
you
look.
hope to see for W3 Champions in the future?
I think we covered
What we
it.
talked about in the last hour and a half. How about that?
Yeah, I think we covered
Notes.
it.
I want to talk a
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
about replays, because I don't know if replays are overrated. I think it's one of these things that really old school hardcore fans want, but that's really not important. Like the top replay on Walker3.info, how many downloads does it get? 200? 200 clicks is not much. And I know that pro players are very upset that it is the case on NetEase. That's why they create a million Smurfs on NetEase to just hide what they play, especially before big tournaments. So I don't know if these max 200 clicks are worth it. Also, not worth the time that you have to invest to get that done.
That's also something that has very much to do with the client. It's nowhere near the stuff that we do actually, because you would have to downgrade your client somehow to the really official version to be able to play it. I wrote a parser someday for Warcraft replays, and there's so few information in there that you really have to recreate the whole engine to get information out of it. And for that course, we somehow would have to create a downgrade tool for your Warcraft that runs automatically as soon as you click a 1.27 I don't know replay. And I guess that's we have to. I guess it's pretty hacky, and I don't know.
Lady
if it's
Risa's replays
like
tool has that, no?
I don't know the tool that much. Don't know. I think you can analyze it somehow, and then you get like how much gold you mined, whatever. But you don't, or do you? Can you watch it there? I don't know.
I think it's also downgrading. People can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you can downgrade.
I think you're right. Yeah.
As
Yeah,
always.
I don't know the tool so far. Yeah. But maybe we can take a look at it. But as so far I really want to concentrate, I guess, on our ladder experience, and replays, of course, are part of it a little bit. But like you said, 200 downloads on Warcraft 3 info is not that much. I don't know if I want to waste a week or two, or I would say more, I guess, because I don't know the tech to get some replays downloadable. Yeah.
I really like the way you're thinking and the way you're prioritizing things.
So you guys are obviously you're still working on stuff and improving everything W3Champions related, but when the ladder from Blizzard finally comes around, do you have already decided whether W3Champions is gonna stick around? Does it depend on certain things? What can you tell us about that?
I want to hear Abe's answer. Abe and Mod are they're like the voice of the community. It's amazing to be working with them. And I feel privileged to be internal and hearing what they talk about, and the zeal which they have for the community is incredible. So I know Abe's got thoughts on this, and I want to hear them.
Yeah, so we don't really want to split the community that much, but we first want to see what Blizzard provides. Obviously, if they go with global matchmaking, people will prefer to play on W3Champions. So we definitely cannot shut it down. We don't want to shut it down. We want to add more modes like custom games maybe, or rock ladder, and add more features that the official ladder do not provide. We will have to wait and see what's the interest of people in W3Champions after the Blizzard ladder releases, so we can make our decision based on that. And yeah, maybe Modmoto want to add more to that.
I think so as well. I think we of course leave it running as is so far, but I think we should all check out how the official ladder works. Maybe it's good. I think Pat originally said that if the original the official ladder from Blizzard is way better than W3Champions, we wanted to shut it down. I don't know how we are right now, because right now we offer a lot of additional features. And like I already said, we are also looking into unranked play, so we want to implement that as well. That would be possible for us. And I'm pretty sure we're going to do it not in the next month. It will be doable way earlier, and then we'll see how it turns out. I think especially just because it's a community project, it's super fun to keep it alive. And I'm pretty sure if the ping doesn't improve on Battle.net, Battle.net ladder will not be played by any professional players. And maybe then we are the professional pro player or wannabe pro ladder next to the official Blizzard ladder, like back with W3 Arena or something like that. But of course I wouldn't shut it down. So far it's pretty fun, also a super fun project for us. And yeah, but we see what happens. It's months to come.
Yeah, I'll stick with it as long as I don't have to mod the RT community anymore.
Yeah.
Neo, since you stepped back, I wanted to, while stream was happening, our man who's on the inside who's working on HostBot, he chatted me during the stream, and he says, I just want to let you know I'm working hard on the HostBot, and we'll update you very soon with a usable client. And then he sent me a picture, which, look, I'm a dummy.
Oh, he's gone.
I think he froze it. Had a very interesting time.
Yeah, the guy just sent a picture how the host boss.
He clicked a link on the internet and got punished for it instantly. It was that good a picture.
He sent a.
Where did he send it? I don't see it.
Will work.
No, Neo didn't disconnect.
No, Neo just left, you know. But
Can you hear me, guys?
yeah, I can hear you. Yes, I think it's you, Todd, and me.
Yeah, Floss is gone.
That's sad. It was a pretty nice information that he got there.
Matt Morris sends his regards. Oh, you guys kill me.
All right, now I'm back, I guess.
That's amazing.
So damn, it's working or what? I think I missed the super important part of what you said.
No,
but...
he froze.
We all missed it.
Floss froze
Really?
after saying I'm a dummy, and then his face was like real funny.
Okay, that's the last thing I heard as well.
Oh, he has a power outage. Okay, we can wait a bit for him to come back, I guess.
He can also join via phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said North America internet is not that good.
Yeah, I know Abe about the camera. I mean, there's nothing you can do. There's supposed to be a fifth person, which fills out the space usually. So we'll just leave it.
You know what? I'm just opening up this call a third time.
Yeah, but then we're still gonna see you in Floss's window, which
The
is
more
gonna
Neil, the
bother
better.
Abe, I think. Kappa.
Okay, now everything is screwed, I guess. I don't know.
Let's hope. Let's see. I think he's
Floss
trying
is
to come
awesome,
back.
so I don't mind giving him my face.
I guess maybe we can take some of the questions from Reddit, or because Floss made a thread there. It's very dangerous business, but he still went ahead. He's an absolute madman, so let's have a look. I was hoping for him to do this actually. You know, Reddit is like, yeah, I try to stay away personally.
I can do it if you want.
He wrote, drop the questions you want to ask the W3C team in these threads. Of course, some snarky comments to start things with. Hey, first of all, thank you so much for everything you do. You pretty much saved the scene. My question, are there any concrete plans regarding the host bots? Okay, well, we kind of talked about this. Have you contacted people like Niels Ads, who knows much about the host bots? The host bots could resolve many issues like fair ping, competitive plays, basis for watch functions like neties and so on. Here's the link. The Aura bot, a newer version of Ghost++, which maybe could be adapted. Do you guys know this Niels Ads person?
No, not at all. No.
Yeah, he is so awesome.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Hey, you're back. Nice, mate.
Wow, lucky.
So just briefly to finish up on Niels, back when we had hostbots still before they were killed by Blizzard, Niels did pretty much the entire infrastructure on all the hostbots that we used for competitive. I don't know if that was the case for W3 Arena as well, but Niels was the god of hostbots. And he's very, very awesome, and I know he's listening, so I hope you make a comeback somehow.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, well, Niels,
Get in touch.
yeah, if you're interested in helping make this happen, get on the W3Champions Discord and get in touch with these people, and we would love you a long time if you do that. We would be very appreciative. Let's see. I guess Floss, are you gonna rejoin the whereby as well for the video?
I'm trying to.
Okay. I didn't proof any questions. Like, do I just read them and hope there's nothing bad? Oh, you can close one of the instances. Thank you, Neo, for the video.
I think I'm back.
That
They
was a
took me
crazy
down.
cliffhanger, man. I
They took me
disconnected,
down.
you disconnected. I have no idea what's up.
You said I'm a dummy, and then you froze like in a really weird position. Okay, where was this going?
He had said, so he says he's working on host bots, making good progress, plans to give us an update in short order with the good progress. And then he sent me a picture of some very impressive looking technical image, and it impressed me as a dummy. And then the assassins got me.
That sounds very, very, very good.
Okay.
Yeah, I know he's been working on this for quite some time, and it's really, really cool that people put so much of their free time into this.
I think some of these questions. Can you open the Reddit thread, Floss, and pick some of the questions that you like?
Yes, sir.
Because I think some of these have already been answered.
We talked about host bots. That's fine. We talked about what happens when Blizzard Ladder comes. That's fine. Oh, on a scale from 0 to 10, what's your level of cooperation with the classic team? We talked about that.
That was actually
Well, you could
quite-
answer
quite
again,
nice,
maybe.
but,
Like you didn't give it a number, you know?
On a 0 to 10,
Yeah.
they're cordial. They respond very quickly to our queries, and they say that they're going to get to things. But I wonder if my contacts, I'm a nobody in the scene. So, I just don't think I'm speaking to people who have decision making.
Okay, let me translate. That's a 1.5. 1.5.
Do you know who's in charge of the team?
I want to know who's hired in this RTS position. Do you know? Why is it such a black box? Who is in charge?
Yeah, I don't know. What I do know is that my recent mails to Mr. Pete Stillwell bounced. I don't know what that means.
Mm.
LinkedIn says he's still working there.
Okay.
So
Maybe change his email.
Floss, anything? Any other questions?
A lot of people asking for Kaiser 47, some no name. They want him on here.
Maybe someday. Just wait and see.
There is one question which I think is worth talking about. I'd actually be curious to hear y'all's opinions. It has to do with, do you still want to include a banning system for toxic players? Because currently, since I'm the one in charge of it and I don't like to be the arbiter of what is appropriate and inappropriate speech, it has mostly been left for map hacking, team killing, all stuff that only happens in the RT community. Like when it was 1v1, we had no need for moderation. And it's fine. I want the best experience possible for RT. But as the community, as I've been in the mod position for a month now, like we get pretty filthy, really unpleasant things. I still don't want to be the arbiter of appropriate, inappropriate speech, but some of the stuff is like obviously beyond the pale. So I'm curious as to what does the team think about banning for inappropriate speech? Should we leave it as it is, or should we say like, hey man, you really just don't say that or don't play?
I think my opinion is I don't like both people. I don't like the people who being dicks on the internet, and also don't like the people who get offended by dicks. Like, in my opinion, of course, you quit a game, you rage a little bit, and you say blah blah blah. You get in your rage mode and you quit the game. But I think on the other side, who cares? Like, even though if somebody's rude to you in a 1v1, like that happens, it's the internet. I'm also not saying that I'm a fan of people being mean to you in the internet, but it's something you can just block out of your vision, in my opinion.
When there's self-help tools, like mute and block in Discord, that to me feels like it's enough. But I get, and it's really hard to know because the RT scene is very vocal. So I get a lot of angry, passionate people telling me it needs to be this way. It needs to be this way. And it's hard to know, is this the squeaky wheel or is this really the voice of the community? And I just don't know. So it's hard to know. So maybe I'll just keep learning as I go and leave it the same for now.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, John.
Because even in Discord, there was a couple very distraught young men, I'm gonna call them, that took part in some very hateful speech, and I think everybody has like different opinions on it. Obviously, yeah, moderation and what's offensive, what's not, is always gonna be like a very polarizing subject. Everybody disagrees about certain things, but it's tricky.
But I mean, it's such a drag because like people like you, Todd, people like Grubby, like, names in the scene, people that's important. We want to hear from you. We want to interact with y'all. But you used to be part of my Discord, Gym Discord. You're not there anymore because people talk shit all the time. It's like,
yeah.
And yeah, I'd love to
and
just
also,
be like,
we're like opposites, He bans nobody in his channel, but everybody. So if you want some help with moderation, let me know. If I got 30 minutes in my day, that's 600 bans, solid bans right there. Like it's gonna be like my chat. Anybody writes anything out of line, write GG after I lose a game. I fucking dare you. It's in the rules. Don't do it.
And if I ban anyone, then suddenly I'm just sniffing your nuts all day long. Which whatever, I'll take that mantle, but so be it.
Yeah, it's very tricky. Again, like people get offended by different stuff, but it's a good question.
I think that's a very fine line. Everybody rages here and there, but I mean, it's also 2020 and it's the internet. I don't think it's really an excuse to keep people around if they behave like this many, many times. The thing is, you are, I guess, understaffed already when it comes to this, and moderation
it's
is
such an administration nightmare. Yeah.
It's so much work.
Yeah.
But I think there should still be, I don't want to call it counsel. People should be banned if they're complete assholes. We don't want people like this in our I don't want people like this in our scene. I don't want players who wish their opponent's mother's cancer or AIDS or talk about how they want to wipe countries off a map. This is not 2020 anymore. Like this is not 2004 anymore. This is 2020. So just because you behaved like this for 15 years doesn't mean that it's still acceptable in this community. And racism is totally not okay. Phobias are definitely not okay. And there's been many instances where people got through with stuff. And I think we have to be a little harder than we currently are everywhere. Definitely to blame myself for that as well, for certain cups and stuff.
And like a lot of people's counter argument to this, though, is that there should be free speech, just like Muffy wrote in the chat.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love this argument. I don't want to get into it too much, but
Yeah, it's of course
it's not a government institution. You don't have a free speech right. We're providing a product. If you come in and we say no service for you, you know, like you're allowed to say what you want, and we're allowed to say we don't want to talk to you anymore. That's our freedom of assembly, if you will.
Yeah.
I should clip that and put it to everybody that complains about being banned in my channel.
Yeah, I mean,
think
the W3Champions guys, they are inviting the players to their house, and you come into this house and you shit on the table. That's what these people do. And then they get offended because you throw them out of the house for shitting on the table. Like, really? Is that your common sense? I don't get why people
Yeah, but-
behave that way. It's really sad, and I think we should get rid of
Yeah.
a lot of people that
And
behave
also,
like this.
I'm pretty sure Muffy is one of the guys that called me like a big nose and stuff on the internet. And then before the Iron Couch, apologized and asked if he could attend the tournament. So that's the place where free speech took him, aka being obnoxious on the internet. And then I did allow him to come play, by the way, and there was no problem at the tournament. But it's just like, don't be obnoxious on the internet just because you can. That's not what free speech is at all, in my opinion. Abe, did you want to chip in?
I'm not sure if I have an opinion about this. I mean, I'm not sure why Blizzard is not taking any action when they have the report function built into Battle.net. I don't like people offending each other. I think it's just stupid. I'm not sure why they do it. I understand frustration from the game because it's a very competitive game, and you get nervous and maybe you start talking shit to your opponent, but some things that they say are just crossing the line. But I'm not sure why Blizzard isn't banning for racism and stuff like that.
They're not.
I haven't heard anybody being banned by Blizzard.
Yeah. I don't know how many people actually use the report system that's in the game.
So I don't have firsthand knowledge of it, but I have heard that Blizzard will take action against people if some speech is beyond the pale. So that's why I feel okay with when people come to Discord and say, this person called me XYZ, I say, use Blizzard report, because I think they do take some action. I wonder, Mod and Abe, what are your thoughts if we tied a person's Blizzard or their BNet tag to their Discord tag? Would you have any thoughts about that? It could help for polls. It could help for moderation. It could help for just plain forcing you to be civil because the stakes are higher.
I don't really know about that. I think what I dislike about banning people when they use foul language is like one time, like a few weeks back, I read a comment on Twitter when we released a new season that read something like that. Best new feature we got this season was that XYZ was banned. And those are the other people that I also put on the same level as the people talking like foul language. It's like also it creates hatred in my opinion. And I'm a little bit more of a hippie guy in this case, but I don't like that people go on witch hunts when people were saying stupid stuff in chat or whatever. In my opinion, I think we're all adults. We can all have fun while playing games. And I think both sides in this case, like talking foul language and being happy that somebody banned and like the kicking after somebody, like, you got banned, ha ha ha, I knew it, also feels pretty wrong to me. Yeah, so this is more or less my opinion about the banning system. So I don't know if we instate a council that people go and say, oh, I report this, and then you have some stages where you go through and this whole political system behind it. I don't know if that hurts us more in the long run than it actually helps us.
So
like, this is my fear.
It seems clear that there does require a replay review team for RT. That's just, it has to be because people can't play nice together. So let me tell you how it currently is just to educate the stream. There's FFA and there's RT. There are two separate volunteer review committees. When something bad happens in a game, they file a complaint in the Discord with their full BattleNet tag, the replay, and a few sentences about what happened. We ask them to @ the offender so that they have an opportunity to respond. They never do that. And then the review team privately reviews the community and decides whether it is sanctionable and whether I should take action. And they make a recommendation to me. I am the only person who has currently the power to enforce a ban, to give official warning, et cetera, et cetera. I often don't view the replays because I trust my community team that much. And also, I'm not an RT player. I'm not an FA player. I don't know what's acceptable behavior. So I rely on the community. So to the stream, if you're involved in the RT community, you don't like how things are doing, message me and see if you can be part of the RT review committee. It's work. It means you got to do work, but you put in work and you get results. You get to be a part of the community. You get to be a value add. And currently my philosophy is language. I'm sorry that it happens, but you have self-help tools. So it's more for ruining someone's in-game experience. Team killing, obviously map hacking. And then what is acceptable behavior within the game type, that's I leave to the RT community because I don't know it. So that's where we're at right now. And I think that's where I'm going to stay for now.
So I see in chat a lot that the people say, oh, you can mute the people. Yeah, of course you can, but then the damage is already done.
That's true. That's true.
I got, by now a lot of comments that go like, hey, just kill yourself. Like, okay, I read that, and it does hurt. Like, of course it hurts. It does something to you. You feel super bad. You question yourself. You question your abilities to like cast the game or do a camera, or if you are already in a bad spot due to whatever, and you get 3 or 4 comments like that, then it does something to you. And then, yeah, if I mute them, it's still in my head. It does help that the person can't do it a second time, but the damage for the first time is already done. So that is not a perfect solution or a feasible solution. I think that there must be more than a mute function.
I think a very important concept of 2020 is that just because something is not offensive to you doesn't mean it shouldn't be to anybody else. Everybody can be offended by very different stuff. So just don't be inconsiderate. Let's try to be nicer to each other.
Yeah.
And not say this kind of shit. I think it's like pretty important.
I think in the Warcraft scene, it always comes in waves. Like sometimes it's really cool and people are really supportive and helpful, and then it builds up a little that it becomes tolerated or something, or the tone in general gets rougher, and it always becomes more and more extreme, and then there's an incident and then it laps down again. Maybe we can flatten the curve of the wave as we do worldwide with other stuff.
So Neil, I mean, it's a great and important point because there's no question that there's a universe of harms on all sides, and if we don't moderate, you're harmed, or people who are sensitive or prone to these types of insults are harmed. And if we do moderate, then the Muffy free speechers are harmed in their mind. And what's hard is, like, look, I like Muffy, I guess, but I do care more about you, Neo, who actually provides serious value add to the scene, and people who just want to go out and have a fun game. Like, I do care about them, and I want them to be harmed, or I want them to not be harmed. The balance of that we talked about is like the harm to me as a moderator.
Yeah,
and
of course.
It's just a lot of work. And so when it comes down to it, unfortunately, it's like you get left holding the bag. Todd gets left holding the bag. People will go in and shit on the prominent people just because they put themselves out there. They get caught holding the bag because it's a lot of work. And, you know, it seems easy to say, like, just don't be a jerk. But the people that are who most need that advice are going to be the least receptive to hearing it. So it's not an easy solution.
Totally agree. And that's why I opened with it's so much work. I'm totally aware of that. Maybe if people are aware that for stupid hate speech they get banned, then that's already like a stop sign.
Deterrent. I'll
Yeah.
think about it. I really will. I promise I will think about it.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
we have more than 30 bans already, so people are
Yeah.
slowing down.
Yeah, I
on
know that
the-
you're doing stuff already. That's really, really cool and necessary.
And it's also like to be fair, it's not permanent bans usually. We go gradually. Like first ban is a few days, something like that, in a week, month. So
And they can
and
always
then-
appeal to me privately, and
Yeah.
they do. And I give
Every-
second chance. I shouldn't admit this, but I'm such a softie, dude. Like you give me a sorry, and I feel like it's slightly sincere. Then they're back, and then 2 days later they're banned again, and I'm like, oh, learned my lesson. So I'm learning a lot about myself.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, Floss bans somebody and then they come to me privately in Discord and start complaining.
Of course, that's always how it goes. Yeah.
You know, here's the problem. Everybody thinks they're like so justified. Like this guy, Baby on Fire, came back on my stream. I always see him writing like shitty comments about me on Back to Warcraft, for example. And because he was banned, he's now a hater for life. He came back and the first thing he says is like, again, like some pretty shitty comment. No, let me find it.
Your ban appeal in your Discord is
He said,
Just so
let's
good.
be nice to each other, but Todd is banning people for nonsense. I mean, what the fuck is that? Like, do you really think like this is the kind of nice comment that will make me want to keep you around in the channel? Like, so everybody thinks they're like so justified. Like everybody that feels they've been wronged once. So it seems like if anybody ever says anything to anyone, that starts a never-ending cycle of this stuff. Basically, is like what it comes down to, really. And in RT games, it can be with anything, I guess. So that's why we hear more from these, or like FFA, where there's like maybe like a lot of trolls as well. But a lot of people in the chat mentioned that it's very hard to draw the line, right? Like what you need to decide in advance specifically what you're gonna ban. That's why Twitch chat have rules. That's why platforms have rules. So if you guys started banning more, you have to have very precise rules. But sometimes the rule infraction is gonna be very close to being fine or not, and those are gonna be like the hard ones, for example. But yeah, like it's also a full-time job policing, like, right? It's Warcraft 3. Like even though the community is not that big, it does feel like there's a lot of borderline acting persons, right?
Yeah, I totally agree. But from the discussion here, I feel that the leaders of this community are very responsible and take things with the right approach. So I have no worries that it gets out of hand or something.
Todd, do you ban if they ask who's the opponent?
Usually no. I
Cold-blooded.
don't.
We've given these guys too much airtime, dude. They're obviously living rent free in my brain right now.
No, it's like, I don't know, like it seems like in Warcraft, I don't know if it's like that in other games as much. I did feel like in StarCraft there was a bit less of that, even though I think StarCraft Reddit similarly also went overboard with like the witch hunts and stuff. I do feel like in Warcraft there's also that whole like, there's the vocal minority, right? Of which some are gonna be like fairly negative. Like whenever I've gone on Reddit these days, there's like these haters always making like pretty bad comment. Like let's go to the top of this. Right? I wasn't gonna talk about this, but I'm like, I think this might be a good topic as well.
Yeah, get it out, man. You should. Like, why shouldn't you be able to
This
go
guy
on Reddit?
Rebato Pepin is the same. Question to Todd: do you consider insta-leaving ladder matches a good sportsmanship practice? What the fuck is it to you? If I leave some games on ladder, who cares? Sportsmanship, this is ladder. If there is a matchup I don't feel like playing, I'm not gonna play it. Like, what are you trying to become? This is also a guy that's perma-banned in my channel because he came and he wrote some bullshit in the chat. And then that's it. For now on, he's gonna be a hater forever. So that's just the mentality of like a lot of people. And I feel like in Warcraft 3, maybe more so than elsewhere. Like everybody has an idea of what they think Twitch moderation should be, and they're deciding for you what it should be. And I've also had that sometimes where like I've been on Back to Warcraft and then some people were talking shit or baiting, and I was like, mods, wake up. And then I ended up being the one that got timed out. I thought it was a little bit silly, but I can understand how I'm not the one that decides how another channel is going to moderate their channel. And it's
We
the
had
same.
a lot of discussion about that.
And it's
yeah,
the
for
same
sure.
here. Like, and I don't know why so many people just become like, you know, so stubborn or like hate-minded and stuff just because somebody thinks differently than you about game balance. Just because I lost my shit one time against Grubby, and out of 50 games, I wrote something one time, and then now he mutes me every single game. By the way, you should fucking disable his mute, because this is abuse of mute right there. I will never write anything against him ever again, but I still don't want him to be able to mute me, because this is bullshit.
I won't get involved. I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
both y'all.
I'm just kidding
can't-
anyway, but
I can't wait for y'all to be friends again. I hope it happens.
yeah. But
No,
I think
that's
this is
so
also a
important.
problem in the community. Like, there is definitely some members that always write negative shit. Like, yes, I complain about game balance. Yes, I lost my shit one time, but other than that, like, I think, like, you know, organize tournaments. I try to do what I can for the community as well. Like, don't let it just be that, like, this one thing, this one time that lets you define people and stuff. Like, when I say, like, be good to each other, I mean it. Like, of course, sometimes I'll have my humor will not go so well in the chat, and I'll have a little bit of a harsher comment, but that's also, in my opinion, kind of the same debate as like who we should ban and not. Is everybody has a different version of what's acceptable and not. Everybody gets offended at different stuff. But like I said, one of the main concepts that I'm also trying to do well myself or like understand more is that just because something does not offend you does not mean it's not going to offend anybody else. You don't get to decide what offends other people. So we should be careful about like what we say more and more. And I try myself to do better with that. It's hard sometimes because people write real serious bullshit in my chat and I have to call them out on it. But yeah. Do you see any other questions that maybe you might want to answer from the...
I think we covered all the good ones.
Yeah, that's the thing about these questions. Like if they're written in advance, usually we will have answered most of them before we get there, is the thing.
Yeah. For the scene in general, like before you post or write something, maybe think about phrasing as well, because like typing a sentence in a different way can be so helpful. Like when I do a mistake on like, I don't know, a YouTube title or a picture I post, like, oh, that's a mistake, you stupid idiot, fix it already. Like, okay, boy, I put some time into this. Yeah, I was a little busy, made a little mistake, can happen. If you write, hey man, there's a typo in the title. You might have not noticed. Fixing it would be cool.
Please keep that voice and do it more times in the future.
Oh, dude, these people fuck me up. Like, yeah, I do mistakes, and it's cool that you point towards my mistakes so I can fix them, but be simple or something, whatever. We are all not perfect.
This is great. This is good venting. I'm glad we brought it up, actually.
Yeah, it's like a therapy session here.
Well, one thing, and I really mean this, dealing with a difficult population, you have to be precise because they're going to call you on it because they're not afraid to. So you need to know what your views are. You really learn a lot about yourself. You learn how to deal with difficult people. Like, it's been a learning experience, and I actually quite appreciate it. I can't believe I said I appreciate the RT community. I take that back.
Yeah, my best advice is just to ignore the trolls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's the
oftentimes
issue.
easier said than done.
Because when you talk, because we want to be tolerant, we're open to suggestions, we're open to people giving us criticism. When you open it widely, people take up more space than their wit or their charm or their politeness really that they deserve. And it's difficult.
You stupid idiot. Oh, you kill me, Neo. I never expected you to do a voice like this and do it so well as well. Of like the chat in the chat.
Yeah, I got my talents, man.
Fix the graphics.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. All right.
Even in German. Anyway.
Floss, what do you wanna do next? Do you wanna move on? Do you wanna move to the special 4?
Yeah, could we please?
All right.
Let's do. Let me see if. Let me introduce this guy. Let me see if he's available.
Wait, let me join first.
Oh, he says I'm so tired. My man stayed up for this, and he works third, so he's like does 24 hours. Oh, is he here?
That's me.
Dude.
Wait,
Okay.
1 second. We are not showing you yet. Give me a sec. There he is. What's up?
What's going on, boys?
How you doing?
All right, let me quickly introduce. This is Kaiser47. He is, maybe you can introduce your stream. He is a NA undead player. He lives in the United States. He's a captain for the Gym Newbie League. I expect you to talk about Gym Newbie League. He's not very good. He's better than me, sadly.
What the fuck?
He has the title of No Hands Emperor. Apparently, he lost his hands in a threshing injury, so he plays with his elbow. But
Nah,
fortunately-
I got stumps, man.
All right, that's it. Kaiser, welcome to the show, man. Happy to have you.
Happy to be with. Yeah. So that's me. Floss did a pretty good job. I stream and play undead. I'm pretty bad at the game. Got a lot to learn, but we're getting there. My track record in Warcraft 3 is pretty impressive. I hold the record of losing 0-7 to Sword Puppy. The fastest Warcraft 3 game casted by Back to Warcraft, 3 minutes and 31 seconds against
Help me
Insup.
say so.
Yeah, say so didn't help me.
Don't forget, you went very far in a 2v2 tournament, and you share a 2v2 partner with Todd. You guys have both played with Bizarre.
Oh, we should create
are
a
your
support group, actually. How many times did you lose this Blade Master with you?
Dude. Okay, Bizarre needs to be my pallbearer so that buddy can let me down one more time when I die.
Oh my god.
No, but memes aside, playing 2v2 with Bizarre is so much fun because like we're so far apart in skill. Like I'm like 1600 best at like Warcraft 3 champions right now, but I see him microing like my stuff, his stuff across like 4 different screens. It's crazy.
Yeah, he might actually feel like a good player for once, unlike when he played with me. Interesting. So, what about the Gym Newbie League? I feel like this is stuff we should be talking about more often because it's like more. I guess like we talk a lot about the pro scene, all the tournaments and all of that, but this is also interesting stuff. Like anything you guys can share, like how to enter, what skill levels are recommended to play there.
Yeah, so the Gym Newbie League, you guys are talked a lot about the community and like the bad part, but let's the good stuff because I started playing ladder just about a year and a half ago now or so, and I actually started because I saw Grubby playing melee with the announcement of Reforge, and I was like,
get
oh, Dan
off
looks.
here.
Yeah. It looked pretty fun, so I started doing it because I played custom games and stuff for a while. And anyway, got in the Warcraft gym, started the Gym Newbie League, and I got more involved with the community and stuff. And I think like a big part of like getting improved is just interacting more with the community too. Because like if I'm playing with like better people, like my level of play is automatically raised, stuff like that. I think with GNL, there's captains and such. There's me and the Mexican Hitman for one of the teams, for example. We help out like the news players because when you interact with like only exclusively good players, because pros make it look so damn easy. Like if you watch like Todd play human and then you go play human, like you're just screwed. But if you
Todd is
are
rude as well.
if you're someone like me who like grinded from like 1,000 MMR up to like 1,600, you can like you're able to understand more like on the ground what these people are experiencing. You're like, oh, I used to think this way. This is where I messed up with like decisions and stuff. So you can guide them better that way. And I feel like you can just like make good friends with it too. Because like I talk to so many people worldwide because of this game. I'm just like I live in Iowa and I talk to regular people from like Poland, like stuff like that. It's just crazy.
Wait, so
And going from 1,000 to 1,600, that's the real deal. I mean, 1,600 is probably 75th percentile in W3C. So from a year and a half ago, and that's because this dude is in Gym Discord grinding day by day by day and making other players, not me, better, but other players better.
how many people are there in the Gym Discord?
About 4,700 right now.
Oof. That's pretty sick, actually.
It's very active.
And so like there's actual like tournaments going on like regularly, or like just a lot of different initiatives. It's not just people talking strategy and sharing guides and all of that, right?
We've had Gym Cup. That's the most prestigious title is to hold. That makes you king of the gym. Our current king is Side. He won the tournament. I think he beat Kevin in the finals. He did beat Kevin in the finals. To me, the crown jewel is the Gym Newbie League. It's our 4th season. We have 6 teams of 10 players, 7 matches a week. So you get to play basically a best of 3 every week. And we don't. I mean, people do care about winning, but the purpose is to get you fair matches. So you get a competitive environment against people that are your skill level. Which
so how does that work? How do you make that happen?
Well, if you are active in the gym Discord and you're a grinder and you're playing in the Looking for Game channel, we know who you are, so we know relative your skill level. So, like just last night, we did our draft and we had 85 signups for 60 slots, and we knew very well 55 of those people. We know exactly where to place them because it's a real community. The pro scene, y'all are the gods, man. Y'all are up on Olympus. We don't, maybe Kaiser gets to come on Town Hall for 3 minutes. Most of the time, he has to hang out with me. So that's the lifeblood, baby. Y'all keep the money coming in, but us newbies, we keep it. We're gonna make the game go for the next 17 years because we're new to it.
Kaiser's gonna be back.
You guys.
Yeah.
Me 1-0, almost the same age, and we both play on Dead. It's close enough.
Yeah, the similarities. No, we need guys like you who support the grassroots, man. That is exactly what we need, what the scene needs. And the gym Discord is amazing. I love Kaiser and the stream. It's so good. I remember I hosted you once and you were so like in awe. It was so awesome. It felt so good. It felt so good. This guy's streaming is really, really cool. And yeah, I love Jim.
Yeah, Kaiser, you'll be back as a guest, maybe for the next one if you're available, something depending on time zone. But you'll have plenty of time to talk more as well in the future. There is a little note/topic in the thing that you sent me. It says talk about the absolute degenerate lowlifes that frequent Twitch chat, Reddit, Discord in general. Should we do that at all? I'm here with it. Why is that in there? What did you mean, Floss?
I wanted to have my therapy session about RT moderation. We got it out of the way.
Okay,
so I feel good. And y'all got it too. But come on. People, like, how many WGL champions are watching a Twitch chat? Because there must be at least 20. Infi noob, am I right?
I just don't understand why these players just don't win.
Yeah. All right, Kaiser, thank you for dropping by. Yeah, do some shout outs and then we'll see you in a future episodes if you want to be on.
Cool stuff. Yeah, check me out at Twitch. Whatever the URL is, I'm too lazy. Dare_Kaiser47. I really need to change my username to something that's easy to say. Jesus.
That's a great shout out. Keep going.
Yeah. Come on, shout some people out, dude. Don't think about just you.
Well, I'm to me the most important, but really check out N Williams too. Mod in the chat. He's a good human guy. Side's my #1 idol. Check out Side if you haven't already somehow.
All right. Thank you, dude.
Yeah. Have a good one, everyone. Thank you.
Take care. What a guy.
He's a low life. He's a real low life.
What the fuck? Uncalled for.
He's amazing.
All right. I think we were going to do some quick tournaments run through. Do you want to do anything else first, Floss, or like the part 5? Do you want to do that?
Really appreciate you giving me the platform. I really just want to say thank you to everyone who's here. I mean, Todd and Neil, what y'all do for the scene is fantastic. Mod, Abe, Gab, Pad, like, I got love for y'all. It's amazing to just even be in the same channel as y'all. The value that y'all add to the community, it's really inspiring. So thank you to all y'all. Thank you for what you do. And I got to give a shout out to my guy, Wrecker, man. We miss you, homie. Come back.
He's already in chat.
Yeah.
I thought he quit Warcraft. What's he doing?
Nobody
here?
quits Warcraft 3. He was never going to leave. This was bogus news.
I take it back. Ban his ass out of chat.
Yeah, anyway, like, it's not time for shoutouts yet. So I think me and Neo are going to go through the tournaments quickly that are happening or like that happened recently. And then after that, we'll do maybe a quick Q&A, unless somebody has to go. If somebody has to go, I understand. We've already been talking for 2 hours, so then you can do some shout-out now. Just let me know. But I don't think we have too much longer to talk here, maybe like 20 minutes or something.
I can stick.
Yeah. Let's go into that then. Neo.
Let's go, Todd. Let's talk some Warcraft.
The first one is the Warcraft Gold League 2020 summer season, which just concluded. You were casting all of that.
You as well.
And actually,
okay, not all of it, but you were casting as well.
Yeah, a few series. Yeah, thanks to you, this was still on Twitch. Fought behind the scene to make that happen, and
Yeah.
it was a pretty fun tournament. Again, I'm kind of sad it's not double bracket and we didn't see any human beating any undead. I was really looking forward to the tournament to learn that, but lots of good games. The top 4 with Lowlight, Infi, Moon, and TH, and just some epic games across the board. And as somebody who has got a decent level on this game, watching these last, like the semifinals and like even the quarterfinals, I'm like, holy shit, these guys are like gods.
Yeah.
I think of myself as a very decent player of this game, but when I see these guys play, I'm like, they are just gods. Like, there's just no other word that comes to my mind. Like, how was it for you, the whole experience, Neo?
It was actually, I wasn't too hyped because it was, of course, online, and that takes away from it for sure. But this was one of the best WGLs, I feel, if you go from A to Z. Like, we oftentimes had a group stage that was kind of a stinker due to unbalanced groups and stuff. This was way better this time. We had great group stage matches. The semifinals were unbelievable. Like, usually, if you have 2 best-of-5s of the same matchup, it feels a little repetitive, but not these series, man. This was Lolite vs. Infi was incredible hype, and listening to you and Remo cast Moon vs. TH, this wasn't repetitive at all. There were always new approaches, like the 2 Night Elves took a way different approach to the matchup. The 2 humans took a little bit of a different approach to the matchup. A little unfortunate to get Human Mirror in the final, but I still enjoyed it a ton as well. Like, the hype was gone from the community, but if I see Infi and TH, I know I'm in for a treat for sure.
Yeah.
So despite all the obstacles, this was a wonderful WGL.
Floss, did you follow the tournament?
Oh, yeah, Human Mirror in the final. What could be better? It was great. And your casting was great. It was just a phenomenal tournament. I am sort of learning how to play against Night Elf. I lost my Human Mirror League match, even though I studied all the TH Infi replays. So I don't know.
How could that? Didn't you play like Infi? Did you pick the TH side? That could explain it.
Yeah, I think I picked the wrong side.
Probably.
Modmoto, did you watch?
Certainly I wanted to, but I didn't get the time because like we released season 2 on Friday. And then I was kind of bug fixing Saturday and Sunday. I had it running in the background, but I'm still going to watch the YouTube VODs when I'm back from holiday.
Well, thank you actually for fixing stuff. For being so selfless that you're actually working on stuff instead of just enjoying the game. And not launching season 2, that would have been sad. Abe?
I watched the finals, and I think that the games between Lowlight and Infi were epic. They were so intense. I was like sweating when watching them. Infi almost lost there against Lowlight. It was a pretty awesome series.
Especially the semis, the whole series, both sides seemed like on a razor's edge. Could have easily been any mirror in the final. Like, it was just such great games.
Yeah, it was a really, really sick tournament. There was $71,000 on the line. Infi scores 35K, TH 17,000, and top 8 got paid. So Foggy finished in there. But yeah, just a little bit disappointed personally that we didn't see Lin versus Human and that we didn't see the top humans against Undead. Maybe next time. See you in 6 months.
Or DreamHack.
Yeah, there's going to be quite a few tournaments supposedly coming up. So I hope that we'll get that next time at least. All right, up next we got King of the Hill #1. That's organized by Take. It takes place tomorrow night, I believe, at 8 p.m. Central European Summer Time. And there is a Matcherino page up for it. Not sure exactly. I think if you just go on any of Taker's social media, you'll see a link to that Matcherino if you want to find it. And yeah, they're trying to raise a little bit of prize pool. And there is a coupon code, which is, I believe, King1. Let me try it out. Yes, you can add 50 cents thanks to the coupon code King1. Just like I did here. You just have to log in with like Twitch or whatever. And yeah, if you have some funds, some spare cash that you want to help sponsor this show match with, it's tomorrow and it should be pretty fun. Broadcast on the Taker's stream, twitch.tv/TowerTaker with a 3 instead of the E.
Fucking great to have Watchy Fridge back.
Yeah. I'm not very familiar with him because it's the generation after I retired, but I think
Yeah.
it's cool to have anybody really come back like this, like especially from UK. Like they really haven't had that many great players across like many esports, or so I thought. You know, like in StarCraft, I don't think there were a ton. There were just like Bling and the Muslim that were like somewhat competitive, but I think like to be like very high up there, like able to compete with the absolute best, not always necessarily. So I think it's cool. It always makes me happy to see like UK players do well. The ESL Meisterschaft Summer 2020 season, the groups just concluded. And
There you go, Todd.
Yeah, in Group A, barely squeezed through in first place, 1 second, Spiral third. Long Walk sadly eliminated. Oh, I think he doesn't have to go through up and down, right? Or like relegations, it's called.
Yeah. Look how humble Todd is, barely squeezed through. He won that group and destroyed Long Walk yesterday.
Oh, he's 7-3 and then won at 70 as well. And he beat me twice, but I won more maps, so yeah. In Group B, X-Lord, Anti, and Edo. So the Undeads apparently were doing pretty damn good. And yeah, anything special you want to talk about from this, Neo? You were casting the whole thing.
Yeah, I said it in German already during the broadcast. This 10-week season turned out way better than I expected. This was super entertaining. I loved all the interviews with the players. It really showed that there is a lot of personality behind the nicknames that we definitely have to expose more across the entire scene. And I'm really happy for players like Spooky, who almost made it into the playoffs, Ido, who really grinded a lot, made it into Grandmaster, and practiced a lot for this, and also Drunken, who in the end still got 3 wins, even though he has to play relegation. But I think his season was way better than the 3 wins indicate, because the group was super freaking tough, and he always came prepared. It was really nice to watch the games, and I didn't expect to have so much fun. It's a really cool league that is, of course, supported by sponsors. We will have the playoffs, and I'm looking forward to this a lot. Next week is relegation. The week afterwards is the quarterfinals, and then semifinals will be a big event, I think.
Yeah, I discovered Drunken through this tournament, and he played some nice games. Like against me, his games against Swan, I think some of them were pretty cool as well against Long Walk. So really a nice guy as well. So excited to see more of him. Starting with the relegation very soon. Yeah, to go back really quickly to the show match King of the Hill, the map pool is kind of crazy. It's like there is Autumn Leaves in there, there's Plunder Isle. Okay, that's... As much as I like Autumn Leaves in there, I don't know what the fuck you were thinking, Taker. I see you in the chat, so take out fucking Plunder Isle and Two River out of there, please.
Nobody knows what Taker is
What the
thinking.
fuck, in Secret Valley? Why don't we play this on the old patch with the tower creeping everything while you're at it, you sick degenerates. The ESL Pro Tour 2020. So that's the big one that's coming up. We already had quite a few of the open qualifiers take place. And now we got a lot of action coming up starting on Friday. So let's start with Europe.
Dude.
We got Hawk, Happy, Foggy, and Tarzan already qualified for the main tournament, for which there's going to be $10,000. That's because of the ESL Pro Tour points, and of which they accumulated those in Anaheim. And the close qualifier, this one is on the 1st and 2nd.
Yeah,
And there's a lot of players that qualify through the open ones, and a lot of good players. And that's going to be broadcast by Back to Warcraft. I think I'm going to do a B stream for this.
Yeah, we
One-
definitely
one
need it. It's gonna
question.
be... Huh?
One question. Is Foggy playing with zoom out here?
Yeah, what's DreamHack? What's DreamHack's policy? We were wondering about that.
I think they haven't passed a ruling yet, but they are aware of it. So they're thinking, but obviously they're going to have to decide very soon because it's coming up. But they're very aware. Yeah, I've sent them the screenshots that I showed earlier, the one with Foggy and the one without the zoom out, and they're thinking about it. Obviously, it's very hard to enforce a non-zoom out because you cannot know if people are going to be playing with zoom out. You can't force everybody to stream either, so I think the right call would be to allow it personally because of those reasons. But yeah, who knows? Like it's up to them entirely.
Yeah, the communication in general is really cool. They're open to pretty much everything and they respond in no time. Working with ESL and DreamHack is amazing, especially Apollo and Tayoka doing a great job over there.
And don't forget about Ember.
Yeah, Ember has not that much to say, but he's doing a great job doing the admin work, that's for sure.
By the way, like 2 humans and 9 undeads.
Come on,
I'm
you
not
wanna start
casting this
now?
shit. Fuck that.
You really want to start this now? Huh?
I already
Okay.
I already like casted the Open Cup Sunday. Freaking X-Lord Happy Finals. To be honest, they were nice games. But yeah, that's coming up. So on the 1st and 2nd, what days is that? Oh, that's Saturday,
Yeah.
Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday.
And
We
so-
definitely need a B stream because it's Swiss system and it's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be a lot of games at the same time.
I'm just a little bit anxious about making sure I can get into games, but if Remo helps me, I believe we can
Probably.
make it happen. So shortly after that, we'll have. Well, actually, wait. This is
Yeah,
the
we have
close
this.
qualifier. The main event is on the
Starting-
5th to 16th.
That is starting next Wednesday.
Yeah. And then
And-
for America, it's the same, right?
Yeah, the dates are always the same except for Asia. They're a little different, but the main thing is going across 2 weeks. So from 5th to I'm so bad at counting. 5th to the 16th, and I think it's gonna be a great show.
Yeah, so for Asia, it's 12th to 23rd for the main events, and the well, the price pool is the same 10K. It's only less for America. And the close qualifier is same 1st and 2nd, and 12 players will qualify. Oh, we got some more humans in there. 507 humans. What happened there?
Dude, the American qualifiers were so much fun. I was casting with Bidu and Carson, and of course the games are not WGL level, but
Yeah.
the amount of entertainment that this American scene is providing was unbelievable. We had Kiwikaki versus Incinerator, and it basically turned out to be a Demolisher mirror. It was so crazy, and yeah, tons and tons of fun was had.
Sounds like a proper clown fiesta to me.
Absolutely, I
see.
love.
I
that
see like
chaos.
Farseer Firelord twice in a row. From it.
And Neo, Beto, and Carson agreed to cast NA Grandmasters tournament already.
See.
We just assumed. I think they did. I'll talk to them.
The W3Champions. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can confirm that they will.
Excellent.
I will be there on Saturday as well, supporting NA because I'm kind of a
My
hip
man.
NA boy. But yeah, Bidu and Carsten will do Friday alone and Saturday with me.
Yeah, so that's the big one coming up, and we also got the NetEase Esports X Tournament 2020 Summer. That is another $14,000 spread out across the top 8.
Yeah.
And
Can someone please explain to the Chinese how seedings work?
oh yeah,
can
I
they-
saw this is ridiculous.
Can they finally learn to or come up with a system that is not complete bullshit? It's so bad.
Yeah,
Look at these
Lowlight
groups.
Lowlight 120 is like, it's so stupid that we get like somebody made a repeat of some of the matchups in WGL. This is like actually really silly. Moonlin round 1, TH Chemical, like
And then you get the big battle of 15 Sway versus Ice Orc and Alice versus PCG.
yeah.
Are you kidding me? It's like, what the- Oh,
I don't get it.
come
It seems
on.
like the Koreans are just kind of stacked, the top Koreans, in like some of the same groups. And then Focus, those still have a pretty hard group as well with Fortitude, Colorful, and Fly. Yeah, I've always hated the secrecy of tournament drawings. There is so much secrecy around
Yeah,
it. Like nobody
WG
does a public drawing. I'm the only one. When I did my tournaments, I always did a drawing. And even if it wasn't public, I recorded it on YouTube, then I posted it for the players to see.
Actually, WGL does it as well. They put it on what's that called, Billy or something. So WGL is public by now.
Okay. Yeah, but
But
this
for
this
next-
is not public.
No, yeah,
This is some guy who made a bet with somebody beforehand the tournament. He's like, I think Ice Orc or 15 Sway is gonna make top 8. And then he's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, obviously, I'm joking, but this is pretty bad. Like, this needs
But
to
it-
have some seedings.
we'll be pretty hype as well. I'm pretty sure we're gonna cover it as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that bothers me from tournament. Actually, like, we're gonna go back to Meisterschaft real quick. This is the Town Hall of Rants, by the way. I just have to like. So
Get it all
Meisterschaft.
out, buddy.
Meisterschaft is a league where you know who you're gonna play for the next 10 play days in advance for the groups. But nobody has to disclose their race except like 5 to 15 minutes before you play. So in the instance
pretty
of
normal, though.
where I played against Spiral, I practiced against Orc for 2 weeks. And then 5 minutes before the match, he said, "I'm gonna play Undead," and I was like, "What?" Like my brain just exploded. I was like, "What?" And so he played Undead, and I was obviously not prepared at all. Didn't play very well either, and I lost that series, and that could have cost me big time. You know, I made it on the last play day. If I lost to Long Walk, I would have been out. So I really think that for a league like that, you should disclose what race you're gonna play at least a week in advance. Give me a fucking chance to practice. This is a league. Like, why should I learn about it 5 minutes before? It's, in my opinion, it's not good, but that's just me. You know, obviously I'm one of the players. This directly affects me, and I don't like that. I wish they would change it. It's not that hard to do, but they seem kind of stubborn about the whole attitude of it's not that big a deal. Only you have mentioned it, so they're probably not going to change it.
It's a normal rule set, right? Like once you start the vetoes, you declare your race. That is what every tournament is doing.
Yeah, but is that a good reasoning? Like,
no,
there is no leagues.
I was about to. Yeah, I was about to continue this. Like maybe we have to think about this as a whole. But then it comes to the argument that hey, if you can play multiple races on a very high level, then you should be able to play it. It's a really.
Well, in this case, it's more a case of if you can make a creep lord after Blizzard overbuffed the motherfucker, and then maybe you can do it. Yeah. But like, if you look at other tournaments, there is almost no leagues, right? Like, obviously, you can't enforce this rule in a weekly or whatever tournament because you meet so many players in a row. But in a league where you know everybody that you're gonna play like weeks in advance, it just seems silly not to give us a fair chance to practice for the like, it would be better for the show. You know, if I had practiced for a week or two against Undead before playing Spiral, those games would have been a lot better to watch, to look at as well.
But on the flip side, Spiral's Undead shouldn't be as good as his Orc, right?
Yeah, but the race is a million times better than human, so it is in fact, maybe even better than his Orc against human.
That is to be discussed.
I think it doesn't really come up, this scenario, because there is no leagues. Even in China, like, what league is there?
Yeah, we had W League a while ago, but that's not running
I guess
anymore.
technically for example, for the tournament that we just mentioned, the Chinese tournament, NetEase, what is it? Esports X. Like, this is groups announced in advance. So I doubt that they ask the players to disclose their race in advance, but maybe that's the case. But I guess you might still be able to switch from series to series, but I still think it's better for the competitive scene regardless.
Yeah, the Chinese are a little bit on the other foot, though. Prior to WGL, they wanted to change the system in a way that you can, before the vetoes start, you can declare your race per map. And then the players would be able to switch in between. So you can declare, for example, you play human on Terranas, you play undead on Twisted, you know? And then the opponent can veto against it. Which is absolute bullshit, and I'm really happy that they got rid of it.
You know what hasn't happened yet, which could be really ridiculous, which might very soon, or it might have happened, but I don't know about it, is that two race switchers meet, and they all want to play a specific matchup, and then how do you decide who picks what? Then they both have to message the referee their race without knowing the opponent's race, and then the referee will reveal what both of the races are, but then we're playing rock, paper, scissors with the races. It's really stupid.
Yeah, that happened in ESL Pro Series back in the day between DeLorean and X-Lord. X-Lord was switching between undead and human, as he always did back then, and DeLorean wanted to counter his human with Night Elf and the undead with Orc, so it was a constant switching. So if DeLorean went Orc, X-Lord went back to human, and then, you know, DeLorean went to Night Elf, and then at some point the admin had to step in and say, okay, you write your race on a piece of paper right now, and then we'll see what we get. It's absolutely ridiculous.
All right, well, I got this one out of the way now. ESL Open Cup 26, an absolute undead fest. Actually, I wasn't planning on casting that, and then I saw that you guys weren't available to do it because you were finally catching one night off rest. How dare you? In the future, if you can't do a cup, you should tell me, actually. I was happy, I guess, to do this once, and it was fun. Like, viewers were pretty happy, I think. Got a lot of viewers, actually, during the finals. I think 1,700 or something. So people, even though he was undead, is still happy against X-Lord, and high-quality games. Happy was up 2-0, then X-Lord brought it back 2-2, and I believed for a moment, but it was still Happy that took it home yet again. But it's nice to see X-Lord challenging him, because I really think like they are not that far apart in level-wise. I think X-Lord might be even better against human as well. They
played the 6 series in the Stay-at-Home Story Cup as well. Yeah, X-Lord is Xdot is really good. Will have to catch up with the games for sure.
Damn, you didn't even watch live. At least Remo was there. The ASF E-Master. $71,000 tournaments. Apparently going to be in Chengdu. I'm not sure about this one. What the fuck is that tournament? Does anybody know anything?
I don't know. The qualifiers were last year, I think, and it got postponed due to COVID. I don't know if it's still happening. I haven't heard of this in forever.
And
so...
top 3 paid, by the way. Only top 3
yeah,
for 71K.
It's a really weird qualifier system,
Yeah.
and it's a really weird payout, and it's a lot of money. So
Hey Floss, you wanted suggestions for the payouts in the... Don't do that. This is awful.
Got it.
The Africa TV Warcraft 3 League 2020 Season 3. Okay, I know this is on Africa, but they should be on Twitch as well. Like, we need Lawyer Neo to to reach out to these guys and find a way to put this on Twitch, because this is awesome games.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's...
we had
Go ahead.
Moonfly, Foggy Hawk. There was a crazy group. It was fairly easy for Lawlight, as he's still so great against human, especially if his opponent is not Infi. My boy Linguagua losing super close because of some item luck. I think the Mountain King had a pendant, a Sobi Mask, and a bigger potion of mana. There was no chance for my...
That's how I like my Mountain Kings.
Yeah, that's how I hate Mountain Kings when they play against Linguagua. But yeah, super cool of Africa to do this. They support NA as well soon, as the Dust Boys have announced on our broadcast that there will be tournaments for the non-Korean scenes on Africa. So
That's
maybe
sick.
we should focus a little more on Africa.
Yeah. Well, maybe they're the ones that should focus on providing these broadcasts on Twitch as well. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Dude, it's their business to run a streaming platform. Why would they?
Yeah, but
give
it
to
doesn't
their
matter. There's still
competitor?
extra views for them. Right? In the sense that, like, they are still extra advertising, obviously. It's not being broadcast in English on Africa, is it? As far as I know,
No.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I highly doubt that somebody's going to do it in English on Africa. Maybe that's their goal. I mean, they could make that happen as well, right? Like, just...
Yeah.
It wouldn't be so
Just
easy
like
because
Costa.
everybody has, like, an exclusivity contract
Yeah.
mostly with Twitch. But find a way, you know, like... I don't think it would be a big deal for, like, let's say if they got you to do it and they asked you to put an Africa logo on your Twitch stream, right? Like,
I mean, it just like it can't be our channel. On, I think it couldn't be Africa TV / Back to Warcraft. But if they host the channel, and
No,
just
no, I mean,
hire us
like,
as
if
channel-
they allowed you to stream it on your channel on Twitch,
Ah.
and then you put an Africa TV logo on the broadcast.
yeah, not gonna happen.
Why?
I tried many times.
Okay.
It's their content, it's their money, it's their platform.
Yeah, yeah.
Understandable in my opinion.
Okay, so, yeah, this is still going on. Continues tomorrow at noon with Group C, Lin, Zoshishi, Fortitude, and Colorful. And, yeah, then the playoffs will be August 11th and 12th. And Group B is on August 6th. It's actually kind of spread out. The OES Domestic Entertainment Invitational. Tell us about this one, Neo.
I didn't see it, but the results are pretty damn awesome. My man Linguagua taking first place. That's all I need to know. Mango making top 4. Really proud.
Holy
But
shit.
I haven't seen the games.
He beat 3 undeads. Can we put this guy in the Meisterschaft? I think that would be a nice twist to things.
Really cool to see Pink in the top 3. He's like, or in the top 2. I think he's like 12 or something. No, he's 17. But he's super young. Great undead talent. Cool to make him to see him making runs, and he's playing DreamHack as well. Looking forward to this guy.
Linguagua lost his first series to PCG. He said, you want to play it like this undeads? Then he beats PCG, and then he beat 3 undeads in the playoffs. Enough is enough, you know, when you've had enough of these undeads. Okay, that's it for the tournaments. So let's do maybe a quick Q&A. I feel like you guys are falling. As I look at Modmoto, he's like about to pass out.
He might actually be out right now.
He's passing out any second, this poor
No,
guy.
He's on the
Don't
beach.
worry.
Let the man do beach life.
No, but the sun was pretty intense today. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
If
fucked.
If you guys have any questions, now is the time. We'll take a few if there is some. Otherwise, we'll start doing shout outs and I'll let you guys go to bed or do whatever it is that you want to do. Like I know Neo plays some late night CNC. I saw that
Exactly.
yesterday on Discord. Discord betrayed
Yeah, I
you.
finally beat the last mission of GDI, man. I was so happy.
Okay, you guys can scout the chat with me and then see if you find something as well.
Is there any plans that you can't be matched with some race or play versus one race? Okay, we get this question a lot. That will not happen. I know people ask it in good faith because they want to practice, or they want to practice only against orc, or they don't want to practice against undead, but it's too abusable. And if you really want to make efficient practice, do custom games. I think it is basically 0% chance that we'll ever institute where you can X off, I won't play undead on ladder.
Yeah.
I think one thing that I had as an idea, not that you veto a race, but you pick a race that you want to play against. Maybe you limit it to 3 or 5 times a week if you want to get practice in for undead on your level, maybe something like that. And then the other players should have an option to opt out. Say, okay, I don't want to play against person that only select one enemy. And I was also thinking maybe you could combine this with a kind of unranked match, so this doesn't rank for you or for the other one, doesn't matter, something like that. And then you could also, this is like way far down the line, maybe add something like how's it called, coaching matches, where you enter a game with a second person, and the second person can only see your units, and he can coach you throughout the game. And you say, okay, today I wanna play 3 undeads and get coached by the who was the college called? From Knopf
Camp
College.
Knopf?
Yeah, Camp Knopf, yeah, right. Maybe something like that, and then you play 3 times. Yeah, exactly the shot. you play with one of your coaches there, and then you have somebody on your MMR. Both sides are happy because you could opt out, and maybe this is an option that I had in mind, but as Floss already said, we don't know if we're gonna incorporate. But those are some ideas that I had, but it's purely my idea so far.
Yeah,
But we will talk about something like that.
how
maybe.
could I know what race I want to practice against when the Meisterschaft doesn't make my opponents tell me in advance?
What do you mean?
Never mind.
Okay.
Okay, you guys see anything? Is there any plans to auto-upload replays? We already talked about it earlier.
Yeah, also regions depends on host spots that we covered as well. Is there any chance the tournaments will eventually incorporate the new autumn map of W3Champions? Well, I guess the season finale tournament will have it in the pool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, good.
This finale for sure. And wasn't there like a tournament that you said that incorporates it already?
Yeah, the
Like
King of the Hill of Taker
Yeah.
will, and I send it over to some Chinese friends as well. So hopefully
Yeah,
it
we
spreads
see.
there.
Yeah.
When we had the talk about what changes we would make for season 2, adding new maps, that was a big part of it. Is how do you get them into tournaments if people can't practice them on ladder? So
Yeah.
putting them in ladder is our path to get new maps in tournaments as well.
I'm pretty sure once we continue the Back to Warcraft Cups, when the DreamHack craziness is over, we will probably add that one, maybe another one, so we have a map pool of 9, or we kick Echo Isles out or something. But I think making the map pool a little bigger for tournaments could be fun.
Totally. Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's a little sad that, like, compared to StarCraft 2, of course, like in Warcraft 3, the maps are way more hard to balance than in StarCraft 2. But I think it's pretty cool that in StarCraft 2 you get every new season. I think they revisit all maps. I don't know, but a lot at least. So you don't have 2 or more seasons with the same map. I don't think that it's possible for Warcraft 3, but I think it would be pretty good to have some fresh air into the map pool. So it just makes watching it more fun, and I think also a little bit more competitive, because you would have to the guy who adjusts better is also the better player. A little bit, in my opinion.
And how about a potential reconnect feature?
I think this is also connected to hotspots. Don't see any other way around this.
Yeah. Does the community like Autumn Leaves or no?
I
Actually,
haven't
didn't
heard
do this.
anything.
We didn't do the statistics yet, but it's played quite often. It's not like you never see it. But I think we will make a statistic for this as well to see which maps are played what often, and this will certainly be.
I brought this up in chat, but I want to bring in an internal chat. But I guess we're just gonna do some internal stuff. People have complained on Autumn Leaves. There is a white dot that looks like it's one of your units, and the map maker Tenchi seems to think that it's because we edited it and reforged before we uploaded it. So I don't know who I can't remember who added Autumn Leaves to the map pool, but if we can revisit it to try and get rid of that white dot.
Yeah,
but we can talk about that later.
Yeah, this is a good point. But the problem is then if we fix this small thing, then everybody would have to re-download the installer right now.
It might be a season 3 thing.
Yeah. And right now we want to do like we're working on a launcher, so you're always up to date. You always get the new maps when you start the launcher, and like custom keys we wanted to put in there and news. So if the servers break down or anything like that, we can still reach the community and writing them, okay, right now we're down, or Blizzard with a new patch broke us again, something like that. And when we have that, we can make way easier fixes to small fixes like this on the maps, because we just uploaded it and everybody gets a new version, and then everybody's happy again. Yeah.
Don't you think that it takes away the accessibility of W3Champions if the launcher is required?
Yeah.
Wasn't that?
No, you can start it with both. You can start it via Battle.net, and we recommend you to start it with the launcher, of course, and because then you are sure that you always get the latest version, and then you always get the news. But if you start it via Battle.net, you will, and there's a new version out, you will get an update notification that you should start it once at least with the launcher, and we hope that people get used to just opening the launcher anyway all the time. So if you open Battle.net or launcher should not make a difference, but we recommend if the launcher's out, when the launcher's out, that you use the launcher, so we also can get you new use, like the new Patreon links or stuff like that. So
cool. That's really cool, because I think
the idea.
A lot of people are very, very lazy, and especially in the Warcraft scene,
totally.
they have definitely habits that they don't want to get rid of. So forcing people to a launcher, I think isn't the greatest idea, but that sounds once again like a very good solution to the problem.
Yeah, we know we want to have it as a one-click solution in the case. Like updating is just like you start a thing and off you go. That's the idea. Like for a lot of people, it can just be like an update tool that you just double click once every season to get the new maps. And for other people, it would be like the entry point for Warcraft 3, and also a page for us to put some news, so we keep the community up to date. That's important for us.
Shingle asks, any plans on improving the clan features, maybe clan wars or something inside W3Champions?
Right now, not that much, I would say. Clan wars, I don't know how we would do that. I think it's right now it would be also a lot of work. I think just go to the clan channel they provide and talk to them. I think it's the best option right now. But yeah, I could see something like that down the line, that you maybe you challenge a clan, and then maybe you also have the matching on the website, something like that. 3 1v1s, 2 2v2, something like that. How it was. Should be doable, but it is not something that we're doing right now. I think core features first, and then run things around.
On the W3Champions Discord, there is a hashtag suggestions, or like, I don't know if I should say hashtag, whatever, boomer, suggestions channel. So if you guys have suggestions like that on stuff you'd like to see, you can go there and write that stuff.
We read everything. Even if we don't respond to everything, we read everything.
And I pity you for that. All right, let's do some shout outs, and then that's going to be it. Floss, whatever. Take your time, like if you want to thank everybody in the world, go ahead. I know
do.
you're probably going to have a lot of people.
I have a lot of love in my heart. I already gave my love to y'all, Neo, Todd, all the power on the scene, W3Champions team. I'm so filled with admiration, respect, and gratitude for y'all. It's really amazing to work with. It's amazing to be a part of this platform here. But my first and true love is the gym Discord. Let me give proper respect. Our king is Side. Our 2v2 champions, the Dukes, are Ina and Daniel. Let me give love to the mod team. Cephid, Mantelo, Rekram's gone but not forgotten. All of the GNL captains. Let me get that up right quick because they're important. Yeah, the captains are Baron, Von Shooty Guns, Baron, Nega Nebulous, Unsaid, Lucker, aka the Mexican Hitman, Venhale, Kaiser, Unsaid, Cithrin. Gym Discord, it's a great place. It's very beginner friendly. Come learn about the game. We'll be nice to you. We won't ban you even if you're not nice, but be nice. And learn to love the game. I mean, I'm new to it. I picked up Warcraft 3 a week before my son was born. And my son is now 3, so I've been into this game for about 3 years. And I love Warcraft 3 almost as much as my son. And that boy is about as good as it gets. So loved everyone. Really appreciate you letting me on the show. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Mod Moto?
Yeah, I would say a big shout out to Pat, in my opinion. I think because he was the guy. Oh, sorry, Floss. No, because Pat was the guy who started this all, and I think it was a big opportunity for me and like the whole other W3 Gap and Ape to do something really fun. And I think if it wasn't for him, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't have started it. Pretty good guy, pretty cool code that he wrote, and nice foundation that he laid that we can build on right now. It's shout out to you, Pat. Hope you're doing fine. Okay, second shout out is to Moritz Heimann, a colleague of mine, the only guy in my company who plays Warcraft 3. Hope you're watching this right now. And of course to my girlfriend who endures my coding sessions long in the night and was fine enough to, when we launched season 2, that I had to launch season 2 while we were actually barbecuing with some friends.
Oh my god.
Ooh, shit.
The
That's a real
sacrifice is
dedication
made.
right here.
It just, yeah, was a good day. Yeah, and of course shout out to Gabe and Ape because they are pretty phenomenal guys. Coding together with them is pretty good. And I think we got a long way to go, but it's super fun to work in this team. And yeah, it's just really good colleagues you guys. Okay, up to you.
Abe?
First, I want to shout out to Modmoto for keeping an open mind and assembling our team, because he was the first guy that allowed us to grow as a team. I also want to shout out to Back to Warcraft. They, along with the Bulgarian community of Warcraft, were the people that got me back into Warcraft, because I haven't been playing Warcraft for 10 years. Then I started. So big shout out to them. Bulgarian community and Back to Warcraft. Shorty, our Bulgarian organizer. Thank you, guys.
What about Godfather?
Yeah, he's doing all right.
All right, thank you, Abe. Neo?
That was a wonderful episode. That's definitely one of my favorite episodes that I had the honor to be part of. I think giving the project W3Champions a face, and now in this case multiple faces, to make it more just even closer to the community than you already are. You seem to be super nice guys, well spoken, everything seems well thought out, you have an open mind to everything. I would love to give you any constructive feedback, but you do as good as anything gets. So I'm so grateful you picked this up when Pat had to leave, and I hope it doesn't bother you when people call it Pat letter, because it's way more than that now. And yeah, whenever we can help you, let us know. I don't know, Floss, you need some sort of media format, like a monthly vlog or anything to spread your positivity. I have no idea how you keep it and keep that smile all the time, dealing with all the complaints and stuff. You need to be on camera, and I don't know. I'm really happy that you are part of the community. You do an amazing job.
Just give him a few months moderating, and then we're gonna have to pay for his therapy.
Yeah, trust me, I'm like at 40% capacity right now. But thank you, super nice of you.
Continue, Neo. I think you weren't done, were you?
Yeah, I think I am now. I'm just really happy that there's so many cool people. in
Man,
this
let's
scene.
hang out in real life. That's what I mean. I'm making real friends in Warcraft 3. I can't.
Yeah, I'm
wait.
not going to the US at the moment, man. Forget about that. And you're not allowed anywhere else, so yeah, let's postpone that for a
That
bit.
derailed real quick.
Totally-
Internet hugs. It is.
Totally deserved, though. Good gracious.
All
We
right,
can do
thank
a
you.
hangout with a beer, though.
Thank you
And
so much
thank you for having me, Todd. Obviously.
Thank you everybody for joining me. Make sure to send me all the links on Discord that you want added under the video, whether it's W3Champions website or Discord or gym, whatever. I'll put everything, your social media, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, even if you want, even though I don't use that. But thank you guys. Have a good night. Much love to all of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Oh, that was a fun time. That was a fun time. Thanks to everybody who joins us. Actually, I need to open. Can I please not screw this up? Okay. The usual shoutouts, thanks to my guests. And again, as always, I will be putting their links under the video on the YouTube. So if you listen to that, to the podcast version on any platform, which were available on Google Podcasts, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Podbean, and SoundCloud, you can go on the YouTube and find all the links for these guys. To follow them, to support them. W3Champions is awesome, and I really hope to see them thriving and somehow find a way to partner up with Blizzard in the future. Make sure to visit the Patreon page for all of the content that I create, which I got a very good news. I recorded a 1 hour and a half interview with Neo earlier today for my first episode of my interviews called Todd Talks. It was really awesome interview. It's going to be posted very soon, first for Patreon and then for everybody else publicly, just like this town hall. So patreon.com/ToDGaming. There is multiple tiers with very different rewards like priority Q&A questions, Discord perks, monthly replay packs, custom recorded voice message you can use for a stream alert, voicemail greeting or whatever, ability to cast votes for the future direction of my tutorial content, and you can submit replays for me to analyze live on stream and much more. So check it out. And I also recommend joining my Discord and following me on Twitter for updates. Subscribe to YouTube for show VODs. Thanks for watching and listening. Everyone, see you next week.